The footy's on Triple M.
It's never been bigger.
Oh, big atmosphere.
More massive moments.
What about that?
Every massive match.
The energy, the electricity is building. Massive!
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M rocks footy.
Ah, what a beautiful night at Marvel Stadium for a special occasion. Hawthorn and Port Adelaide, and only the fifth player in the history of this great game to reach 400 games. Sean Burgoyne, the centrepiece of this game tonight, Hawthorn and Port. 157 for Port Adelaide, 243 for Hawthorn tonight. Brings him to that magical total of 400 games as the Hawks get set to break the banner, with Sean Burgoyne running through and being led through what is a cavalcade of stars around him as he enters the ground. What a magnificent occasion. And to honour this occasion, we've gathered some of the game's greats in the Triple M broadcast box. Good evening, Joe Montagna. What a wonderful sight.
Good evening, Baz. What a pleasure to be here. We're just watching Shawnee Burgoyne right now run through the banner with his four kids. Geez, I remember them running through the banner when they were young. Now his teenage son is about as tall as him.
Yes.
He's got the Guard of Honour. He's got his ex-teammates on one side, some family and friends on the other. What a special night. You don't get to be games of footy too often where you get to see history, but we are here tonight and really looking forward to this one.
Daisy Thomas, can you get your head around it? 400 games.
No, I got to ask this question last night, Baz, and it is just such a large amount of football. Obviously, you as a young player, you want to play your first game. You get to 100, you think you're tracking all right. You notch up 200, you think you're killing it. To get to 300 is ridiculous. And to watch a guy playing his 400th game of AFL football, it's mind-blowing, but well done to him. I just think back to all these times at Hawthorn, whenever they've sort of been down or out and needed a moment, needed a big-time player, he's been the one that stepped up, and that's the reason they call him Silk and they love him.
This man, one of the great historians of our great game, Mickey Roberts, with us tonight. Mickey, 400 for Silk.
Yeah, unreal. The couple of figures stick out with me, and that's 35 finals. That's most blokes' careers. 35 finals, which is absolutely sensational. 38 years of age and still going down beautifully. I see Michael Tuck down there with Al Clarkson too. So, you know, he joins history. The fifth player to play 400. We know Bartlett and Fletcher and Michael Tuck, as we said, and also Dustin Fletcher and Brent Harvey. The record, what was his record? Something like 432, I think it is, isn't it? So that absolutely sensational that he actually joins that club. But 38 finals and the first Indigenous player to do it too.
Yeah, just fantastic. And we're hoping here as we have a look out over Marvel Stadium, it looks like the Hawthorn fans are really turning out too. We were here on Thursday night for a disappointing Richmond crowd, so it looks like they are paying and giving the game the respect it deserves. And hopefully, as we sort of get into game preview mode after talking about Silk, the Hawks have been pretty good in the past month, Joey, and I know you're very big on how they've turned it around. We've spoken a little bit about it off air, but how good they have been since the bye. They've tinkered with a few things, and Port Adelaide coming over here, we know they don't really like to travel that much. Could just be a real nice one for Silk tonight.
It's been a dramatic turnaround, Hawthorn, since the bye, Daisy. Just a couple of numbers, Chew. You'll be all over this. They've gone from being the worst team in the competition, locking the ball in their front half, to clearly number one. And all of a sudden, their possession gains and being able to score off intercepts has gone through the roof, Daisy. So it's been a dramatic turnaround, and I saw them firsthand live last week, and I was really impressed against the GWS Giants. There's a lot of talk that the Giants let that one slip, but I tell you what, the Hawks made them look second rate, and they bounced back today, the Giants. So watch out for Hawthorn. I think they are in this game up to their eyeballs.
All right, we're not far away from action. The Hawks on the ground. Port Adelaide not far away from that as well. Ask your plumber to install a room steady, hot and strong. The Chew Man will be joining us tonight as well with the Red Z Lending stats. This is the Triple M Footy Preview. Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas, Mickey Roberts, Baz and Ashley Chua. And a big game here tonight for Silk Burgoyne's 400th game for McDonald's Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks Footy.
The Triple M Footy Preview.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M. For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M rocks footy.
G'day guys, Billy here. Can you believe Macca's have now been in Australia for 50 years? That's 50 years of post-match Macca's feeds. Where I grew up, in Jerilderie, we didn't have a Macca's. In fact, Jerilderie still doesn't have a Macca's. But I love playing other teams in the Murray League, like Deniliquin or Cobram, because those guys had a Macca's. 50 years of post-match Macca's. Now that's worth celebrating. Shut up!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
We welcome our Sydney audience as well here to Marvel Stadium. The roof is open as always for COVID conditions at the moment. And the Hawks and Port Adelaide out on the ground. Sean Burgoyne's 400th game. And we've got a big team assembled. Jay Montagna will call the action. Daisy Thomas is here looking after the Seabus Supers. Ashley Chura as well. Good evening to you, Ash. And no doubt you've got some big numbers on hand tonight.
Good evening, Baz. Yeah, just some other positives for the Hawks as well over the past 4 rounds. Fourth in defence, only conceding 67 points per game, opposed to the first 11 rounds of the season at 95. Also the third least number of inside 50s they're giving away, and ranked first defensively for conceding the least number of marks inside their defensive 50 as well. And just a couple of prime movers though for Port Adelaide. Travis Boak is the number 1 rated player at Port Adelaide, racking up 28 touches, 6 clearances. Last time he played against the Hawks, he polled 3 Brownlow votes with 34 touches. Willem Drew, he's averaging 18, but he's third in the AFL for tackles and number 1 in the comp for forcing opposition turnovers. And just one step with Sean Burgoyne, Baz, in terms of his durability. Between 2010 and 2017, remember he played 180 out of a possible 184 games for the Hawks, coupled with 3 flags.
I'm just swimming in your numbers, Ash. They are just sensational. It is a special night. Excuse me, Sean Burgoyne, 400 games. And let's have a listen to some of his wonderful work over the years that we've heard on Triple M Footy.
He's going back now, Sean Burgoyne. There's not much he can't do, to be completely honest. Crosses the square now, loads up, right underneath. It'll be right to the line. It's home. He can do everything, this man. He's a Superman, Sean Burgoyne.
Leading all over Ruckworth, over the top lane, taps it to Jew, off hands. Got it! Offline! Number 8, Sean Burgoyne.
Burgoyne off the pack. That is as good as it gets.
It comes to Burgoyne. Burgoyne runs to 45. He's a Rolls Royce, Sean Burgoyne.
Just phenomenal player. Loved playing with him. One of my favourite players of all time.
Oh, it's something special, you know, and to line up against my former club, which is, you know, where I got my start in AFL footy. But yeah, it's unbelievable. Never thought I'd get here, and a lot of luck's gone my way. But yeah, it's something I look back life after footy and reflect on.
Floats one to a dangerous spot. Nananui down. Oh, the carry to Burgoyne. There's a big grand final moment. Put one on to Burgoyne. Unmarked on 50. Takes a one step. Thinking the goal. What a champion Sean Burgoyne is. They get around him from everywhere. Number 9. Sean Burgoyne.
Well, I don't call this guy silk for nothing.
Wants to hand ball forward to Burgoyne, why wouldn't you? Lines up the champ and does what he does best. This is a superstar.
Well, he's an All-Australian. He's a 4-time premiership player, Joe Montagna. He's pretty much done it all in football, but we don't get to see this very often. Just the 5th player in the history of our great game to rack up 400 games. You've been on the park with him. I know Daisy has as well, but just some of your impressions of what is, well, he'll go down in history as a great man, Sean Burgoyne.
He will. And first of all, he's a gentleman. He's an absolute class bloke. He's always got a lot of time for everyone. He's humble, so he's been an absolute star. But on the field, he's just been an absolute weapon. What sticks out for me is just he's a moments man. Whenever they've needed a player, whether it's Hawthorn or Port Adelaide, in big moments, he's always been there. He's been reliable. He's stepped up. He's kicked clutch goals. He's made some clutch plays. He broke St Kilda's hearts in 2004 when we were on our way to a grand final with a diving smother in the goal square. He's kicked match-winning goals. He's gone into the centre bounce, and I mean that's all you want as a teammate is and as a player. You just want to be respected by your teammates. That whenever they need you, they can count on you, and that has been Sean Burgoyne to a T right from his start of his career. I mean, I can picture him in 2003, 4, 5 as a Port Adelaide player, dominating as a stoppage beast, running through stoppages. Brendan Lade hitting it down his throat.
Grand final.
And I think that was 15, 16, 17 years ago. It's amazing what he's been able to do. Just an absolute treasure to this game.
Could not agree more, and probably couldn't say it any better, Baz, so there's probably no need to.
Yeah, fair enough, Dave. You're a man. He just hits the mark. So
well, honestly, everything I would have said was exactly right.
He
as I
actually
said,
read from your script.
The big moments that you talk of when you think of going back, and probably more in my time in the Hawthorn era, when they need someone to step up, or there's a big moment, a big play, someone needs to stand up, even just hit a little dinky kick that changes the complete context of a game. He was the man. And back to the Port Adelaide where he kicked that famous goal that sealed it against the Brisbane Lions. So he's a star. Everyone speaks so highly of him. He's a credit to himself. He's a great family man as well. Done some fantastic stuff for all the Indigenous boys coming through with the legacy he is going to leave when he does retire. And everything that has been said and will continue to be said is well-deserved and well-earned.
Mickey Roberts, Victorian State Representative, the voice of Triple M footy for Bob Jane T-Mart tonight. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free and instant cashbacks. bobjane.com.au. Mickey Roberts, that field down at ground level.
Yeah, and quite emotional down here, Baz. As you know, so many people in the joint to actually pay tribute to Silk, and you can't go past Amy, his wife. She's had to support him. She's created headlines right through the week where they've thrown massive accolades at her, because you need the support at home by the wives and the partners and to be successful. And Amy ticks that box. Sister of Erin, as we know, Erin Phillips. So fantastic. We salute her. This is, most coaches, as we know, don't make too much of milestones. It's all about the game and winning the game. But I know that Elle Clarkson has actually got him in a room in the inner sanctum and said, we have to be so competitive and make an impact for Silk tonight. So 400 games, so significant. They want to win this game for him. And the fact that it's a bit ironic that they're playing against Port Adelaide, because he played in the premiership there and had a fantastic career. And the whisper is that Travis Boak, the captain, will actually help chair Sean Burgoyne off at the end of the game. So both clubs are involved. It is ironic that the fact that they are competing against Port Adelaide tonight.
Good on you, Robbo. Medical subs down there, you got those?
Yeah, Oliver Hanrahan from Hawthorn and Martin Frederick from Port Adelaide, Baz.
Good on you, mate. Well played down there. Robbo, all over it as always. The game of footy days. Port Adelaide, they need to perform beautifully in the last part of the season to claim a top 4 spot.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they're ticking along all right. They find themselves just outside of the top 4 at the minute, but they still haven't got that big scalp that they'd like. They've knocked the Tigers off by only a couple of points earlier on in the season, and that form at the minute probably isn't the team that you want to be beating. They've had losses to the Eagles, the Lions and the Western Bulldogs, so they are a little bit of a flat-track bully. But as we've spoken about with Hawthorn, their turnaround from the bye, and I've spoken to a couple of their boys, and just their decision that when that new rule came in of stand on the mark, they tried to go man-on-man inside that 30-metre bubble, because when they were playing the team defence, because you could stop and almost kick it around the man on the mark, they could get zero delay on the ball and they were just getting exposed. The last month of footy, they've changed that. They've gone back to the press around the ball, just hunt, try and get some heat on the ball carrier, which has allowed the blokes outside that inner 30-metre bubble to step off, and that's why their defensive numbers, I think I said the last 4 rounds, they're averaging 67 points against, down from 95. So that's a 5-goal swing. They're a 5-goal better side at defending on the back of that. So we'll have a look at that tonight, and that's sort of where teams, if they have beaten Port Adelaide, think back to the Western Bulldogs when they got it done. That's what they did. They hunted them around the ball, and then when they got their opportunities, they were able to move it quick and expose their backline.
Yeah, it's spot on. They've been awesome since the bye, and they're going to be hard to play against. That's the biggest key with the way they're defending now. They're going to be hard to play against. And true, Port Adelaide have been a team previously, 2020, 2019, front half team. They win clearance, they win contested ball, they lock it in their front half. They haven't got that part of their game going this year. So for me, there's still a question mark on what is Port Adelaide's biggest weapon.
They rank middle table in a lot of those stats this year, in particular the front half game, Joey.
Yeah, they are. They're a bit of a middle table with a lot of their profile. So for me, there are still question marks, and they just have to win tonight against the Hawks if they want to finish top 4.
Well, let's go down to ground level for the toss. Sean Burgoyne is down there and Tommy Jonas for Port Adelaide. So they're having a chat to each other, and Tommy Jonas has
That's your call.
presented a boomerang to Sean Burgoyne.
He just said that on behalf of the football club. They just wanted to congratulate him.
It's a tail. Good luck, all the best.
Tommy Jonas won the toss. It'll be Port Adelaide to the right of our broadcast position to the Coventry end of the ground, so not far away from the bounce now. Choice hotels around the grounds. Ash, what happened earlier today?
Well, Brisbane defeated the Crows a short time ago by 52 points, 17-9, 111 to Adelaide, 8-11, 59. Giants were too good for the Demons by 9 points. Toby Green kicked 3 majors. And the Suns defeated Richmond by 10 on Thursday night, and Geelong were too good for the Bombers last night at GMHBA by 41.
Daisy Thomas on the Triple M CBus Super Special comments tonight, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. CBus for us all. Days, your expectation on the scoreboard at the end of this?
I am going to go with the fairy tale, Baz. I'm going to go with a Hawthorn victory late in the game, and I'm going to say that Silk's going to have a part in it. I'm not sure if he'll kick the goal after the bell or something, but I reckon when the whips are cracking late, I'm going to go with the fairy tale. I'm a big believer in it. You know I'm a hopeless romantic and all that sort of stuff, Baz, so I'm going with the fairy tale tonight. I think it should be a ripping contest.
All right.
He's always been a romantic.
He always has.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that sprung to my mind, absolutely does. He's been a romantic. The Mac family have arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. The great Jay Montagna will kick us off tonight for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. For the Hawks up against Port Adelaide in Sean Burgoyne's 400th game, Joey.
Yeah, thank you, Baz. He's lining up at half-back and he's playing on young Mitch Georgiades, who probably wasn't even born when Shawnee Burgoyne started playing AFL footy for the Power. It's going to be Segler and Scotty Lycett for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy here on a Saturday night. Good bounce by the umpire. O'Meara goes in hard, shovels it out wide. The Power are going to get the first inside 50, though. It's going to wobble towards Marshall, who's got Hardigan on him. Falls onto the footy. Got to be careful. Umpire said he dived on it. Geez, he was a bit stiff. I thought he was tackled into the ground. So you heard the umpire say that he dived on the football. Now we have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He was on his knees, Daisy. You think it's the right call?
It was pretty stiff. It was a very hot one early, but this is obviously the standard they're going to set for themselves. You could hear the unofficiating umpire say that he did dive on it there as they're mic'd up exclusively for Triple M.
So Todd Marshall with the first shot at goal, 30 metres out, straight in front. Roof open, but no breeze whatsoever. And he hits the post. For the cheer of the Hawks fans that are here. And the first score is on the board. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Hawks yet to score. The Power one behind. And we've played the opening minutes of this game. Saturday night footy. Here's Barry Denner.
Oh, Hardwick, look at him. Just ran straight out of the goal square. And it's a long 50-metre ball to McAvoy. Just to the wing broadcast side of the ground. Bergman put his head over for Port and won it. Hand pass out to Wines into the centre of the ground to Motlop. His hand pass smothered by Bruce. The Hawks have got it. Hand pass to GF. He runs to 60. Open goal square. Long bomb. It's wide. And bounces through for a point. So fast-flowing footy early. 1 point apiece. A minute and a half first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
That's pressure we just spoke about in the pre-game, just in and around the bubble. Their ability to put up and apply heat. Luke Brewster was on that occasion affecting the turnover. And then Port Adelaide caught well out on the defensive chain.
So Trent McKenzie, as they do every single time, Port Adelaide from a kick-in, they go to the point of the square. A lot of numbers around this football. Hawks first the ball. It's Bramble. Had a little fumble. Pepper on his hammer. Did enough. Dispossessed. Rosie, who's been in good form the last month. Feeds the handball back to Wines, who runs out of room. Vocal crowd here tonight. Not a massive crowd for the Hawthorn fans, but they're vocal and up and about in this one. They'll be thrown in just forward of the wing. Port Adelaide kicking to the right of the broadcast. And they lead this one. It's all square after 2 minutes.
So boundary throw in, tap to the side. Bramble again's got it, tackled immediately, had to release the ball. Boak tried to go off the ground, bounced back to Amon, and he barrels it on the left boot. One-on-one Dixon. Dixon won't mark Frosty well. Little hand pass comes out towards his teammate Scrimshaw in the back pocket. Had a bit of space to work into. Spotted up Bramble outside defensive 50. The young man floated back and took the mark on his chest.
Goes short to Tom Mitchell. He's had a big month or so, Chew. Some numbers on Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, averaging 34 disposals this season.
The Brownlow medalist goes long down the line. Big boy McAvoy's there. The Hawks have got plenty of numbers, but Alir able to get fist to it, only as far as Warple, who just hems inside the boundary line, comes in board. They'll flick it around. The handball from Shields. Misses Segler. Mitchell again sweeps it wide to Bramble. In front of the interchange gates. Centre wing. Steps inside. Goes inside 50. Bruce in a one-on-one. Went one-handed. Is he going to get the free kick? No. Umpire said play on. Now a hot ball. Ground level. Was there a free kick? This time there was. Against Scotty Lycett. It was a bit sloppy. And it's going to go the way of Bruce.
Just the big man, couldn't get down low enough. Bruce, though, again, second, third, fourth efforts after he dropped the mark. Really good pressure. Alistair Clark's to be loving that in the Hawthorn coach's box.
Did you know, Baz, Luke Brewster's been Shawnee Burgoyne's played the most games with Shawnee Burgoyne as a teammate. Would you have a guess how many games?
213 or 14, Joey. It's one of those. Am I right?
Very good, Baz.
Thank you.
Game 214 tonight.
Thank you.
Lukey Brewster and Sean Burgoyne as teammates. From 45 out on a 45-degree angle. Brewster strikes it beautifully, and the Hawks have got the opener. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, they're 117. Port Adelaide one behind. We've played just over 4 minutes. IJ Liquor proudly local proudly independent.
One thing he does or has done well this year, 11-4, that is from set shots now. Well done to him. And just liking the intent from the Hawks. It hasn't been pretty. They put themselves under a little bit of pressure with the handball from time to time, but just willingness to fight, to scrap and get a better look, try and go in. And once the ball hits the deck, Baz, their pressure has been very, very good early in this one. That's the intent they needed to come out with. Port Adelaide started all right too, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Hawks.
Yes, you just sense that the Hawks are up for it tonight. Their form's been pretty good, Ash, in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it certainly has. They've won 2 out of their past 3, Baz.
That's their lending stats. Loans for the self-employed for McDonald's. And Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy, bounces magnificent. As Lysett gets a hand on the footy down to ground level, bounce back to his opposing ruckman, Segler. Lysett lays the tackle and drills him into the deck. The umpire to pull it up. So players from both sides just coming off the square. Geez, Luke Brewster's a beautiful shot for goal, isn't he? Just has been over such a long period of time. That opening goal was a ripper. Back of the pack, opportunity for Port Adelaide to kick inside forward 50, full of the ball. Mays, hand pass Dixon. Dixon runs to 40. Had a look at the goal, sort of a vacant goal square. But running back with a flight of the footy was Mays, who just bolted to full forward after he released it by hand, and he's marked the 10 out directly in front.
Pretty handy catch that was, going back with the flight. A bit of a mung sort of sack kick in there by Charlie Dixon on his left foot. And this should be their first one for the Power.
So Sammy Mays settles. As the great Dale Thomas said, you pretty much mark this one down at the Coventry end, directly in front, 10 metres out. Pops it home for Port Adelaide, 1-1-7 apiece. 6 minutes into the first term, and that's all on the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard. IJ Liga, proudly local, proudly independent.
Well, that one coming from the centre bounce, and I just noticed before the stoppage up on this wing that Port Adelaide deciding to send Stephen Motlop up in around the ball, which is leaving Scrimshaw loose behind it. So on that occasion, they did go in with a long, high ball that the Hawks were able to counter off, and that was where they started their chain towards goal. So Port Adelaide choosing to put a number up around the footy. They'll need to chain out by hand and try and make that +1 from the Hawks irrelevant.
A nice grab and goal by Sam Mays, who kicked the match winner last week against the Sydney Swans, coming on as the medical sub after playing a half in the Sandful that afternoon. And he's got the first one here for the Power. That was actually a very good grab. The ball was doing plenty in the air, kept his eye on it in front of Cole Hartigan, and the scores are level. So have McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. We're back in the middle. Segler tapped down only as far as Boak, who gives it to his partner in crime, Ollie Wines. Wobbles it towards half forward, and Giath has given away the free kick for a hold on Motlop. 60 metres out, he sees a lead from Rosie, just popped it over his head. So now a loose ball, Willem Drew, who Ash Chew has told us had a very good season for the Power, underrated season. Goes in and gets it, shovels it back looking for Rosie, and the ball will trickle out of bounds, 50 metres around from the Power goal. As there's a Port adelaide player down. He looks like he's in a fair bit of pain too. It looks like it's Kane Farrell, is it?
Yeah,
on the ground there.
Clutching a knee, Joey.
Yeah. Port Adelaide's teammate was waving for the trainers to come out to him, so I'm sure Mickey Roberts will be all over that one, and they're just going to stop the play for the time being because he's down right where the ball should be thrown in.
So Harvey Norman replay there. Young Farrell just rolling around the deck. There's the replay, Days. What'd you spot?
Yeah, it's just the big hyper extension as he was in the tackle there. Doesn't look great and went, it's one of those ones that you almost have to turn away.
Yep.
That's not overly pretty. He's getting assisted off now by 2 trainers, so no stretcher required, but can't put hardly any weight on it. Didn't look great at all. A big... Oh, yeah, you don't like the look of that, do you, Baz?
No weight on that right leg, so he'll walk past Mickey Roberts when he comes to the bench, so we'll get down to Mickey once he's done that. Michael will have a very good look at the young man.
Just as we've only been, what are we playing here, 8 and a bit minutes of clearances, the Port Adelaide clearances, Ash, they seem like they're on top already.
Yeah, spot on, Daisy. 4-zip Power's way, and time in the forward half, as we know, Hawks have been very good over the past month. Port at 67%.
And I reckon, Daisy, that's why they're bringing up that half forward. I think they know that if they can bring that extra number around the stoppage, they're more of a chance to obviously win it. And then even if they give away the number in their front half, they can just get it in and then try and lock it in. And that's how they want to build their game.
Bit of field position, pretty smart coaching move early.
Boundary throw in. Triple M Seabo Super Special comments. Great Dale Thomas tonight. As Ollie Wines falls to his backside, grabs the footy, kick to the forward pocket. Georgiades caught out of position. And a big fist on the ball sees it out of bounds again for Port. Left forward pocket. If you just joined us, it's 1 goal, 1-7 apiece, 9.5 into the first term. And the IJ Liga scoreboard is Will Farrell about to walk past Mickey Roberts down there. We'll get down to Mickey shortly.
So the ball thrown back in. Ollie Wines, another clearance, so that's 6-0. I think we've got our Amy half-time to hang up. We'll keep that up our sleeve.
I think I said
Charlie Dixon. Good to see Will Ferrell here today, the A-list celebrity.
Oh, no.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, jeez.
Watching too many movies.
Poor old Kane Farrell. He's got to.
I'm sure his teammates call him Will.
No, I hope so.
As we have a stoppage inside 50 for the power. Newcomb, the mid-season recruit, gives it to Phillips, and they'll clear the defensive 50, go to the wing. O'Brien with a big fly. We know he can take a hanger. Mitchell front and square. Just dribbles it about 25 metres forward, but only as far as Alier. Now with Wines from centre wing. Drives it back to the top of the 50, but the Hawks have got plenty of numbers. And Giaf, instead of taking the mark, whacks it out of bounds. 55 around from the Port Adelaide goal. Scores a level after 10 minutes of play. Goals to Luke Bruce and Sam Mays. As we see Kane Farrell on the boundary line getting his knee looked at. We'll get to Mickey Roberts in a minute to give us an update, Baz.
All right, boundary throw in, forward 50, Port Adelaide. And Lysett works his way to the front, tap down towards Boak, missed him. Put it in the path of Mays, took it straight out of bounds. Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane, Team Arts.
Yeah, Kane Farrell. Kane Farrell's down here. Doctors assessing it, checking the ACL, hyperextension. I've done one of those myself. It didn't look good on the replay. Right knee in a lot of pain, and the sub is Martin Frederick, who's just actually warming up next to him. So I reckon they'll pull the trigger here. He's in so much pain, the young kid.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And bottom of the pack from the boundary throw in. Boak just kicks it straight up in the air. Still on forward 50 for Port Adelaide. Grabbed by Burgoyne. And Silk kicks it outside defensive 50. But it was Bergman who worked it off Warple, claimed the footy, but his kick went straight to Howe at centre half back for the Hawks, and he delivers to the outer side.
That was a good mark too by Bramble. He's got the runner. He was almost going to give it to Frost. Elected not to. He just goes short and wide at Connor Nash, who has GF running past. The handball wasn't a great one. Missed the mark, and it will go out of bounds, centre wing, outer side Marvel Stadium. Scores level 1-1 apiece. We've just played 11.5 minutes. Roof open here at Marvel Stadium. Cold night, but a nice night for football. And a good healthy crowd here coming out to see Shawnee Burgoyne in game 400.
Sure are, Joey. If the Hawks fans have flooded in, which is good to see. As the ball's pushed straight back out of bounds, former Port Adelaide star as well. We'll have another boundary throw in on the outer side wing. Not that funny, Ash. Laughing at me.
I like it, Baz.
Thank you very much. 1-1-7 apiece, 12 minutes first term. IJ Liquor scoreboard, bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Marshall slaps to the front of the pack. Boak tries to work it out. Again, Wines gets to the bottom. Shoves out a hand pass to Motlop. He's back to Marshall. He's tackled, dragged into the deck by Mitchell, who sits on him. Hawks fans want a result, and they're going to get it. Free kick to Mitchell. Hawks are up and about, 1-1-7. Scores level, 12.5 first turn.
Well, Daisy said it, the umpire set the tone in the first minute. Mitchell gets the footy, plays on quickly, wheels inside 50. Big pack of players. Kaczynski lurking at ground level. So is Bruce. Gets it to O'Meara. Outside of the boot, snap for goal. Just misses. Hawks 1-2-8, Port Adelaide 1-1-7. Robbo, Bob Jane, Team Arts.
Yeah, Kane Farrell just about to sit in the back row. Quite emotional, actually. He knows that it's a bad one, so they're going to pull the trigger. Martin Frederick gets his chance, so Kane Farrell out, right knee, and doesn't look good. It actually could be the ultimate in ACL.
Bob Jane, Team Arts, get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free on instant. Cashbacks, bobjane.com.au.
Port Adelaide work it to the wing. Powell, Pepper's got it. Kick towards half forward, punch to the side of the pack. Frost for the Hawks, just put it into the path of his teammate in Graves. And he's tackled and lost it. Motlop picks it up on the bounce. Still on the wing broadcast side. Hand pass off to Ollie Wines. Shrugs the shoulders, runs away. Bounces a kick inside to big Charlie Dixon. Right on forward 50, just runs the arc. Got a hand pass off to his teammate in Drew. Tried to get it back to Dixon. That was cut off. Hawks will work in numbers here. Hand pass will come out to Phillips. Outside defensive 50. Now a kick back to the wing.
Port Adelaide doing what they've done best in previous years. They're locking the ball in their front half at the moment. They've got the wall set up, and it was Darcy Byrne-Jones. Intercept mark. And again, just happy to send it forward. Todd Marshall going to get the free kick. Hold against Greaves. Too far out to score. Hawks have got plenty of numbers back in their defensive 50. The Seagulls are lurking. Look at all the Seagulls in the stadium here at Marvel, and he goes towards the pocket. Charlie Dixon couldn't take the mark. Kyle Hardigan ambitiously tried to claim it. Umpire didn't fall for it. Kick across the ground from Scrimshaw. Might work out. Bramble, Hardwick, and they do well. Find the mark outside defensive 50.
So it's Big O'Brien who drives a drop punt. Good 45 metres to the outer side. A terrific mark taken by Kaczynski. Plays on, turns, low drop punt to half forward. Jonas will cut it off. And he gets in front of Warple. Goes to his knees and marks for Port Adelaide. Kicks back inside defensive 50. Just about 40 metres to Alia, who stands 30 from the goal he's defending. Short pass to Motlop, true centre half back. Didn't want to go on, so just waited for the player to claim the mark. Young Newcomb. Kicks straight up the ground again, over the head this time of Jonas, and Mackenzie's got it at half back for Port.
Just building it up patiently here, the power, aim on. Had the runner going past, missed him with a handball. Turnover, Warple did well, broke the tackle. Has Kaczynski inside 50, he's got two power players to beat. Well done, Tommy Jonas. Came over the top with a spoil, knocked it out of bounds.
Well, they've had all the attacking the Port Adelaide power. 70% of the ball's been inside their forward half of the ground. 8 inside 50s to 4 now. However, the Hawks are leading this one on the scoreboard by just the solitary point. 3 scoring shots from their 4 inside 50s.
Yeah, they've defended well, Hawks. Now their opportunity inside 50. Throw in. Tackled, Powell Pepper. Did he have the arm free? Umpire said he did. That's always the cue. When you've got one arm wrapped up, the other arm free, they pay it every day of the week. And Jager O'Meara is going to be the recipient. He's going to take the kick about 45 metres out on a tough angle, about 10 metres inside the boundary line. Wrong side for a right footer, but we know he's a class user.
Yeah, just a really strong tackle too. Powell Pepper coming through there. Like the bull that he is, O'Meara met him almost a rugby league style, put their head in the hole, and just effected a really good tackle, pin the arm. Now needs to kick truly for his side.
18 goals, 10 from set shots for his career. Jager O'Meara just inside 50, starts at the right post. Stayed there, through for another behind. So the Hawks peppering 139. Port Adelaide 117. We've played 16 and a half minutes in this opening term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
So Mackenzie at full back to bring it back in for Port. Just stands on the edge of the square and then runs out. Bergman's underneath it. Alia, his teammate as well. It's 2-on-1 Port way. And a little shove in the back for Phillips. So probably not necessary. Alia had to sit, and Phillips can bring the Hawks back inside forward 50. He's gone wide to the pocket, and again the target is O'Meara. And he marks and dives and rolls and tumbles out of bounds. So he'll have a shot 35 out boundary side.
That's the rule, mate. That's the rule. It's on the right. He's going to stand on the mark.
Just getting a good explaining of the new rule where he has to stand on the mark, which I think's been a rule for a fairly long time now.
So, across the body from 35 out, O'Meara's hooked it across and hit the post. Hit the near post. Hawthorn, another opportunity, goes begging for the Hawks. 1-1-7 to Port Adelaide, 1-4-10. And the Hawks, 17.5 first term. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Shoot, Jager O'Meara kicked 3 behinds.
Yeah, 3 behinds. It's got to be a PB.
I would have thought so.
For you. Yep.
He's kicked the 3 behinds out of the 1-goal-4. They lead this by 3 points. And once again, they go to the same spot, the power. Every single time they go to the point of the square. And they've got numbers queuing up. They'll win the footy. Darcy Byrne-Jones goes wide to aim on. Takes the mark just inside the boundary line. Still back of centre wing. 8 minutes 30 left on the game clock in this first quarter. Hawks by 3 points. Goes long down the line to Dixon. Well done, Giaf. Got with the athleticism. Got a good fist to the ball. Knocks it out of bounds.
And that is an equal PB. 3 behinds for O'Meara. And for Choice Hotels around the grounds, Brad.
Yes.
Carlton taking on the Dockers. Blues leading Freo by 12 points, 18 into the first.
Well, the Blues up early, Ash. Not prepared to call that one yet.
Not yet, Baz.
3 points up the Hawks here. 18.5 first term. Tap down to Warple, who threw it onto his boot and kicked it out on the full. And was fairly disappointed with himself.
Jared, come back over.
The lineup will bring it back in for Port Adelaide. His defensive side of the wing, broadcast side. Hawks have done what seems to be, Ash, the most of the attacking in this term. Burton.
One of the last 5 clearances, the Hawks.
So kick across the wing to Lycett. And Bergman was infringed, and he'll get a free kick for Port. So he's only a couple of metres inside the boundary line, right there in front of Mickey Roberts for Bob Jane Team Masters tonight. Kicks it inboard to the centre of the ground, just defensive side. And Alir takes the mark.
Goes short to Martin Frederick, the medical sub, who's come on for Kane Farrell. Out with a knee injury. Goes into the centre circle of Marvel. And the power will go inside 50. Marshall's going to fly. Got two hands to it. Couldn't bring it to ground. Live ball now inside 50. Rosie tried to create something. Frost dived on the footy. Got to be careful. They've played a couple of these, but gave him the benefit of the doubt. This time we'll have it thrown up 30 around. Powell trail by 3 points. Some of the big ball winners early for Red Z Lending, Chew.
Yeah, Ollie Wines has had 8 disposals. Motlop 6, and for the Hawks, 5 to Bramble and Mitchell.
Dixon to Boak in a huge pack, tries to wrestle his way out. And in turn didn't try and get rid of the footy, and the umpires pinged him. So Warple with a free kick was one of the tacklers. Just outside a full back for the Hawks. They have a 3-point lead at the moment, 20 minutes into the first term. Just a goal apiece. As Warple looks to the outer side, plays on, just pulls the kick and just pops it into a big pack because McAvoy was in it. And he got to the front but couldn't complete the mark. Lays a tackle. Spills to Jonaso for Port Adelaide, the footy. Hand pass off to Bonner. Goes onto the left boot. Kicks it high into the head of Charlie Dixon. He's going to be paid the mark. Looked like he had a good grip on it, then it was knocked out of his hand. At 40 out, about 12 metres inside the boundary, he'll go back and have a shot.
Clear from where I was.
So 3 points up. The Hawks before the kick. And Big Charlie, with about 6.5 minutes left to play in the first term, has the opportunity
15 gone.
to kick his first goal of the evening. Starts to walk in over the 50-metre line. Drops it onto the right boot. Kicks through the footy nicely, but it's floated across the face of the goal mouth and through for a point. 2 points up the Hawks. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Keep coming, Todd. Keep coming.
Scrimshaw goes short. Shorty Burgoyne. He's going to get a round of applause every time he touches the footy in this game. The kick from Scrimshaw missed McAvoy, so it'll come back in, line it, top of the square. Hardigan did well. Outbodied Sam Mays, took the mark, top of the defensive goal square for the Hawks. Defending well. Port, how many inside 50s for Port Adelaide this quarter, Stu?
Spot on, Joey. 11 entries to Port, 6 to Hawthorn.
Yeah, doing well. The 11 entries for just one goal conceded, the Hawks. And the free kick's going to go the way of big boy McAvoy.
Yeah, their pressure around the footy's been elite, as we've spoken about, going at 203 to Port Adelaide's 181. AFL average, Stu?
180.
So the Hawks work it outside defensive 50 to young Bramble. He just holds the footy on his hip with his left hand. Called to play on now. At half back, he drops it onto his boot. 40-metre drop punt to the wing. Up they go. Segler brings it to ground. Newcomb at ground level. Nice hands. Out to his teammate in Mitchell. It's now with Warple. He's dragged off it. Segler went again. His hand pass smothered back to Warple. Got it to his teammate. To Greaves, he was dragged to the ground. Bramble lays the tackle. Mays on top of him. The umpire to pull it up.
So just doubling down on that pressure and why they're being so effective at defending the inside 50s, Baz, because when the ball is going in, it's going in high and under a lot of pressure, allowing that Hawthorn plus that we spoke about to have a real impact, not allowing Port Adelaide to have any really clean, good looks at it.
Any other Red Z Lendings catching your eye, Shoot?
Yeah, back on what Daisy is saying. So Port 11 entries inside 50, but they've only taken one mark inside the attacking 50, and they're second in the comp for marks inside 50, Port Adelaide.
Ball thrown in. Just forward to the wing for the power. Lysett tries to follow up his own work. Did well. Shoveled out a handball to Bergman. Had a fumble. Went back and got it again. And then coughed it up with a handball. Only as far as Daniel Howe towards Kazitsky in a one-on-one with Alir. And Alir won out. Took the intercept mark. And they'll look to switch the play, the power. Jonas to line it. Centre half back for Port Adelaide. 1 goal 2 to 1 goal 4. Hawks lead this one. Dower affair. Perfect conditions at Marvel Stadium. They go wide towards Amon, who had a couple of metres on Hardigan, takes the mark.
Back 2 metres, back 2 metres. Stand. Thanks, Carl.
So Amon off the fence, just forward of the wing, drops it on the left boot. Dixon the target again in front, falls to ground level. Hand pass comes over the top. Rosie Little Hands is good. Frederick's got it, dummies around one, runs to 40 and kicks a beauty. That's a nice goal. And a good finish for Port Adelaide. 2-2-14. Plays 1-4-10. 24 minutes into the first term. And that's his first career goal. So the young man very happy and calling his teammates over days for the high fives and the hugs.
He certainly was, and they all came to him as well. which is good to see, Baz. And we love the fact that he just had the composure when he did get the good handball out. It was a good bit of passage of play by Rosie there, got him, and he stepped around Shorty Burgoyne too, so he won't like that too much. But it was a good finish and something Port Adelaide needed, because they have been dominant with the field position, with their inside 50s. It wasn't their traditional sort of goal, but Charlie Dixon good enough to provide a contest, and the Smalls went to work at his feet.
Yeah, it was Will and Drew that got the front and square and fed out a good handball to Rosie. Underrated player, Will and Drew, playing a big role in this Port Adelaide side in season 2021, and they take a 4-point lead. 2-2-14, the Hawks 1-4-10. Just under 4 minutes left in this opening term. For McDonald's and Ream, hot water. Ollie Wines tries to win the clearance. Segler shovels out a handball. Warple and Mitchell working hard. We'll have it thrown up just next to the centre circle.
Clearance numbers for Red Z, too.
7 apiece for Red Z.
So the Hawks have fought back well here.
Segler, he's been important since he's come back into the side. Just helped their clearance in contested possession game. And we'll get another repeat stoppage.
So it looks like Hawthorn, Alistair Clarkson is sending one of his forwards up now to match it, almost sitting off the back on the Port winger.
Segler and Lysett. Segler controlled it, got it to ground level. Houston lays the tackle on Mitchell. Footy spills out now. Wines first to pick it up. Gieth underneath it after the kick. Well, Mark Truce in a half back for the Hawks. Just hits the ground running straight away. Bounced up with a footy. Kicking across half back. And Foster's got it. So the Hawks trail by 4 points. 26 minutes now into the first term. Long kick to the outside wing. Bruce saw it fall his way. Couldn't control it. Burn-Jones. Port Adelaide, nice hands to Motlop. Goes back by hand. Houston a kick back towards half forward. Bounces back into the arms of Frost from whence it came. At half back, hand pass to Mitchell. Another one to Gieth. Back to Mitchell by hand. Now a kick back to the outer side wing.
Along to a big pack of players. Big boy McAvoy floated across the pack. Playing predominantly as a forward tonight. Takes the mark just forward of the wing. Sheesh, look at all the seagulls.
Oh, look at it, Joey.
We don't have the wires above the roof here like at the MCG, so they've snuck into the ground,
It's like Alfred
causing
Hitchcock.
mayhem.
Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, Joey. You seen that film? Alfred Hitchcock.
I think so. I know who Alfred Hitchcock is.
All right, fair enough.
Is that the one where they leave the kid and go away on the holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Home Alone.
No, that's a different one.
So the kick from McAvoy might be turned over. He went short into the corridor. Power too well. Dixon has to go laterally to Houston because Port have nothing forward of the ball. Hawks are set up well. So Dan Houston switches the play. Goes to Bonner. He wants to get on his left boot. And he goes inside the corridor. Oh, it was nearly turned over. Warple couldn't take it. Boat then drills a low ball towards Marshall. And they made hard work of it there, the power. But they got themselves out of trouble. And Toddy Marshall, who hit the post earlier in the quarter, will go back from about 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, high risk, high reward that kick was it. It was either make or bust there for Bonner, who went inboard, and it was almost turned over, but that kick just shifted the entire Hawthorn defence that was set up so well behind the footy.
Todd Marshall, I think, is going to have an important role to play in the Port Adelaide Premiership tilt. From 48 metres back, it was a nice technique, and he sneaks it home. And the Power have kicked 3 now, and they get a bit of reward for effort. And on the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard, they go to 3-2-20. The Hawks 1-4-10. We've got just over a minute 20 left in this first quarter. Robbo, Bob Jane, T-Marts.
Yeah, Kane Farrell, as we know, has done his right knee and hyperextended. I saw a couple of replays and some stills of this. It doesn't look good. There's a lot of pain and, well, I suppose, thrust going through the front part of his knee. The doctors actually just put him on crutches. He's gone down in the rooms. I wouldn't be surprised if they take him to hospital as well. A lot of pain and a few tears as well. So he's done something drastic, Joey.
Spot on, Robbo. Just saw it again on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. I think, as Joey said, it's one you don't want to look at too much. Buy a mattress in-store at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery with purchases over $999. Conditions apply.
Last 6 inside 50s for Port, so it is a little bit of reward for effort. Big minute 20 coming up for the Hawks.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rock footy. We're just over a minute left to play in the first term, and Amon gets a long ball for Port Adelaide just on the forward 50 line wide, and Motlop running with a fly to the footy has taken the mark in front of Gieth. So Motlop bounces back up. He's on the boundary line. He waits for a short lead. It came from Marshall, who snuck in front of Hardigan. Not played the mark though. Hand pass back to Motlop. Now has to go backwards with a kick to Burn-Jones, and he's got this 70 from home. Called the play on, pops it into the hole. Here comes Big Charlie, smashes the pack, spills to Frederick, bounced past him. Newcomb came at him, and Newcomb got caught. High advantage play for the Hawks off halfback.
Bramble retreats back to Shawnee Burgoyne, who had a little fumble. Oh, and he's put himself under pressure. Got it back to Bramble. Well done, Houston. Good forward pressure here by the Power. They're going to turn the footy over again. McKenzie outside of the boot. Ollie Wines attacks it on the second bite. Takes the mark. And he wanted to play on, but he wasn't sure whether the mark was going to be paid. Umpire did the right thing, gave him the benefit of the doubt. And after the quarter time siren, Ollie Wines will go back from 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle to try and extend the Port Adelaide 10-point lead.
Yeah, it's hard to be critical of a bloke in his third game, but young Bramble there just needed to pop the ball out lateral to Kaczynski. It was, could have just relieved all that pressure with a short kick. He said he went the handball option, referred the pressure back to Silk. Wasn't a great handball, put him under pressure.
Having a wonderful season, Ollie Wines. Just the 4 goals for the year from 48 metres out. It goes straight across the face of goal, and it will not score. And it won't add to the Port Adelaide 10-point lead. Tight, tough game of footy here at Marvel Stadium. Shawnee Burgoyne in game 400. And at quarter time, it's Port Adelaide 3-2-20. The Hawks 1-4-10. Choice Hotels around the ground shoot. The other game, the MCG.
Sorry, Joey, quarter time. Blues 4-2-26, leading Freo by 22 points. They're 4 behinds.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal.
Triple M's your home of rock, sport and comedy. Now with Marty Sheargold for breakfast.
When I was a kid, we narrowly missed Cyclone Tracy. Poor old Raffles, the Chihuahua, didn't make it. We called him Raffles because we won him in a raffle.
What a great prize.
A live dog as a prize in a raffle.
Who was the raffle?
It's like the local pub.
I don't think you'd get a dog in a raffle anymore.
No,
that was another time.
You get a pony.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6.
Feels like one of the boys and love his banter.
Catch up with the podcast from the Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
Bonus local delivery on Australian-made mattresses now at Harvey Norman. Now's the time to upgrade your mattress and support Australian-made. Our range includes the best names in Australian-made mattresses from Sleepmaker, Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, King Coil and Body Balance by A.H. Beard. Buy now and take advantage of bonus local delivery on purchases over $999. Support local manufacturers and choose Australian-made. Available in-store only. Conditions apply. Bonus local delivery on Australian-made mattresses now at Harvey Norman.
Melbourne's best buys.
Rapid Tune will keep you moving. With the latest software and state-of-the-art equipment, Rapid Tune can look after every make, every model. Book your next service at rapidtune.com.au.
Best buys.
At Pet Barn, save up to $60 on NexGuard Spectra Dog Flea, Tick and Worm 6-packs. It kills fleas, ticks, mites, heartworm and intestinal worms. The most complete parasite protection in just one tasty monthly chew. Protect your dog all year round. Shop online or in-store at Pet Barn today with same-day delivery 7 days a week or click and collect within 60 minutes. Conditions apply. Offer ends Monday, 12th of July.
Smart Aussies are really cashing in with Solar Heart Solar Hot Water. Purchase a Solar Heart Solar Hot Water system, Power Store or Atmos heat pump and get a $700 trade-in on your gas or electric water heater. That's right, get smart with a $700 trade-in on your gas or electric water heater. And ask about our interest-free terms on any Solar Heart residential product, including solar power and battery storage. T's and C's apply. Talk to Solar Heart today. Get smart. Get Solar Heart.
Okay, Oleg, let's tell everyone how many Australians compared the market have helped look for a better deal.
Okay, Papa.
So I say 6, and you say...
6.
No, you say million, Oleg, remember? That's 6.
6.
Million.
Again.
Okay. Join the 6 million who've looked for a better deal with Compare the Market. It pays to compare. Simple. Visit our website for information about the range of brands and products we compare.
You know what I don't like about the tile importer, Chops?
Ruff?
It's the name. It makes you think they only import tiles, which is rubbish, because they sell all building supplies.
Ruff!
They have everything. Treated pine, decking, flooring, cement sheets, lining boards, and so much more.
Ruff!
I can't believe how cheap the tile importer is, Chops.
Ruff, ruff.
Hey, Chops, should we take Mrs. Woody to check out the new display centre?
Ruff, ruff.
17 Natalia Avenue, Oakley South. Tileimporter.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
Quarter time at Marvel Stadium, 3-2-20 Port Adelaide. Lead Hawthorn 1-4-10. Joey Montagna's calling the action, so you know it's going to be a good night. Daisy Thomas is here, he's a star. The shoe man, Miggy Roberts. Let's go down to Miggy Roberts, ground level. A big injury in that first quarter, Miggy.
It was Kane Farrell who's has done his right knee, hyperextension, a lot of pain on the outer side. Couldn't support his body weight, has left the back row and I would say been taken to hospital on crutches. Didn't look good, a lot of pain through that knee, and it's a frightening thing to think that it's an ACL. So the poor kid, he's only played 33 games tonight, so we wish him well. The other thing is Sean Burgoyne didn't want his 400th about him. I tell you what, fresh set of boots and a brand new jumper put on for the second term. Ka-ching, ka-ching, I'm saying. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So the fresh slippers and the new jumper.
All for charity, of course,
All
Robbo,
for charity.
thought.
It's not about him, but they're all for charity.
Bob Jane T-Marts, get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free on instant cashbacks. BobJane.com.au.
Yeah, really interesting first quarter it was. Hawthorn very happy just to go with the +1 and have numbers behind the ball, which was allowing Port Adelaide to have all the field position. Seemed like Alistair Clarkson wasn't overly worried about it. Port Adelaide had the extra number up at the stoppage. They got on top in the clearances early, but Hawthorn, through their pressure, were able to fight back. So the field position was all Port Adelaide's, but it didn't seem to worry Hawthorn that much. And they got some really good looks going forward on the back of it. They were nearly going at 100% scoring efficiency for every time they went inside 50 there. So if it wasn't for errant kicking, they would have been a touch closer. Jago O'Meara, 0 goals, 3. I think that's, as you said, career high points in a game, let alone a first quarter, Chew.
Equal PB. And time in the forward half, Port would be wrapped. They're ranked 12th this year. They're going at 64%. Ollie Wines, leading ball winner. 12 disposals, 3 clearances.
Just hypothetical, Daisy, if you played 400 games, how many bits of memorabilia do you reckon you would have signed?
Signed or sold?
Signed and sold.
The sold would have been a lot higher than the signing, I would have thought, Joey.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, second quarter underway, and it's going to be the power again. Nice bit of work from Amon. Gets a good centre clearance and a high, deep entry. Charlie Dixon at ground level. Motlop tried to knock it into his path. Reeves tapped it only as far as Powell. Pepper wrapped up from Newcomb. Good tackle. Locks it up. We'll have a ball up inside the Port Adelaide forward 50. They're kicking to the Lockett end, the left of your broadcast, and they lead this one by 10 points.
Some of the big numbers, Ash, in that first quarter.
Outside of Ollie Wines, 9 to Motlop, and for the Hawks, 8 to Mitchell, 7 to Bramble.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats with the top man here tonight, Ashley Chua. The kick to the wing, Aaliyah has got it, barrels it back to half forward for Port Adelaide. Good mark, Powell. Pepper. He's in front of his man in Segler, and he's marked this about 55 from Port's goal. Starting the term, as Joey said, leading by 10 points. Early stages, second quarter, pulls the kick and pops it up to the hot spot. Charlie Dixon sort of spun in the pack and didn't mark. Hand pass comes out to Newcomb for the Hawks' back pocket. Got it to GF. Another one to the big man, Segler. He kicks it high onto the head of McAvoy on the wing. Punched away from him. Heads to the boundary line. Tracking it nicely down there is Bonner. He's pushed off it. Nash has got it for the Hawks. Hand pass to O'Meara, and he barrels a bouncing ball forward to the wing for Hawthorn.
Gee, good tackle by McKenzie, because if O'Brien got the hands free, he would have got it to Kazitsky, but they win the ball back. Port Adelaide. Frederick kicked his first goal in AFL football in that first term, and that's a nice kick. Switches the play. Georgiades has a runner out wide in Burton. 80 out, goes low, looking for Charlie Dixon. It was a good kick. Frost couldn't do anything about that one. And Big Charlie's marked it just inside the 50-metre line, about 15 metres in from the boundary.
I'll take his very best from here, Joey, but he looks back. He looks like he's rather confident. He's got Georgiades down there in the goal square, whether or not he goes the pull kick. But he's looking like he's going to go back and back himself to have a long, strong bomb.
What's he like, Chew, from set shots, Charlie Dixon?
Yeah, Charlie Dixon, 65% converter.
Outside 50. It's going to be a big ask. He's given it a good ride. Oh, he's given it a great ride. Charlie kicks an absolute beauty. And Port Adelaide get the first goal of the second term. And they go to 4-2-26. The Hawks 1-4-10. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard never in doubt, Daisy.
Well, he seemed very confident when he was going back. I wasn't sure if he was doing a bit of foxing and was going to pull it late. But I'll tell you what, after he kicked it, Joey, on the Harvey Norman replay, he gave the big one-handed fist to the Hawthorn supporters over there in the forward pocket. And it was a nice shot captured from behind him.
Yes.
There's a little girl in row 3 who may be in tears now. She looked absolutely petrified. Stop scaring the children, please, Charlie.
Triple M Red Z. Hawthorn haven't been inside 50 since the 17-minute mark of the first quarter. Port, last 11 entries.
Red Z leading stats. Ashley Chua for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Don't forget to ask your plumber to install a Ream. Steady, hot and strong in this weather, Joey. You a bit chilly tonight? You all right? You're good?
Good.
No, it's good. Bounce of the ball. Segler down to ground level. Quick kick out of the pack. Favours the Hawks. Frederick dives on top of the footy. And now 6 or 7 around the pill. It's still loose and in dispute. The umpire eventually will split them and ball it up.
Easy, trap.
4-2-26 to 1-4-10. Port Adelaide lead. 3.5 second quarter. Thrown in the air. Segler will go again against Lysett. Tap down to O'Meara. He was pulled off the kick. Spills to Frederick again for Port. Hand pass back to Eamon. And Eamon drives a long ball to centre half forward. Burgon in front, brings it to ground. Grabs the footy on the bounce. Shrugs off the tackler. Hand pass to Warple. The crowd rises one. As Silk in his 400s gets a bit of the pill. Warple's been worked off the footy though. Port another chance here. Whistle goes. Dixon held without it, was it? Georgiadis behind him is going to be given a free kick. So right on forward 50 or a little bit outside.
Stand there, James.
On a 45-degree angle. So Georgiadis
Holding. Stand.
walks in with the footy and looks at a real crowded inside 50. He just pulls it short. And it's all the Hawks down there. And a mark taken by Hardigan.
Doesn't really work so often, does it, Daisy, that three-quarter kick deep to the pocket?
No, the team scout it very well, and almost everyone knows where it's going now. The Cats probably do it as well as anyone. They sort of go to the single, which is usually tomahawk, in the pocket, on a one-on-one rather than the top of the square where everyone else is predicting it to go.
Kick from Hardigan goes out of bounds in front of Mickey Roberts. Bob Jane T. Martz.
I was looking at the crowd, Joey, but I was looking at the seagulls as well. There was 25,000 seagulls in here about 10 minutes ago. Not one bird in the joint now. I don't know where they're gone. I do not know where those seagulls are gone.
There's 3 up the Coventry end, Robbo. You're lying to me.
Oh, there's a challenge for you, Robbo. See if you can find out what happened to the Seagulls as the kick from Hawks goes towards half forward, but Alir again with the intercept and then just kicks blindly back towards half forward. Hawks under all sorts of pressure. We'll get the inside 50 count in a minute, but they're going to repel from half back. Greaves, the beautiful user, goes wide to Tim O'Brien, takes the mark. 2 inside 50s.
Unbelievable. 22-6. Port Adelaide's way.
They're lucky to only trail by 16 points, Hawthorn. Kick in board finds Shields. Just back of the wing. Can they build it up towards Connor Nash? Had to stand under the footy. Well done, Burton. Nash dives on the ball. Tries to shovel it out to Warple. Lean it. Just kicks it out. Frederick along the boundary lines. Happy to take it out of bounds. 70 around from the Hawks goal and an opportunity, Daisy, to play some of the game in their front half.
Yeah, we'll get a good look too just to see if Hawthorn have given up on taking that +1, if they send someone up into the stoppage with Motlop, or if they're happy to take the +1, and that's why they're giving away so many entries, because they're losing the field position from losing the stoppages.
Well, you'd be pretty comfortable with that stuff, listening to Daisy Thomas and the Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for us all, boundary throwing. Scrimmage over the ball. Player at the bottom of the pack is going to be pilled. Free kick for Hawthorn. So Byrne-Jones will hand the footy to him. And Mitchell can bring it deep inside Hawthorn's forward 50. 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. The Hawks just a 1 goal on the board so far. Long kick to full forward. McAvoy won't get there. Front of the pack, spills to the side to Warple. Just fell and threw it under the right boot in hope. About 20 out and went wide and through for a point. 1-5-11 to 4-2-26. Port lead. 7 minutes second term. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Around the grounds, Stu, the game at the MCG, Freo Carlton.
Blues by 21, 5-2-32 leading Freo, 1-5-11, 7 into the second.
Lean it from the pocket, beautiful kick, finds Amon. He's got the runner in Dan Houston. Along the boundary line, outer side Marvel goes towards centre half forward Rosie across the side. Just tried to knock it into the path of his teammates. It'll fall towards Marshall. Inside 50, doesn't go for goal. Squares it up across the face to Bergman. And it was Daniel Howe who gave away a free kick for an arm chop. Hawks fans don't like it. We'll take a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. It was Connor Nash, in fact.
Come back. Move out.
We see here, Daisy, your verdict.
Harvey Norman replay, front on contact. There wasn't a whole lot in it, but from where the umpire was, he missed the ball and got him in the head. It's a free kick.
Buy mattress in store at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery with purchases over $999. Conditions apply.
The Birds are back.
There's Bergman, only a slight angle, 20 out, makes no mistake. And Port Adelaide have kicked 4 on the trot, and they're just starting to break this one open. They're 5-2-32. The Hawks 1-5-11. 8.5 minutes gone, second term.
Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts, Bird update, please.
They're back. They went over to the G, had a look around because they could smell chips, and they're back. They're back here. But on a serious note, Kane Farrell, as we know, right knee, has been taken to hospital on crutches. So the sub is Martin Frederick, who's kicked the goal. But, poor news for the Port Adelaide lad.
5-2-32, 21-point leaders now. Port Adelaide to 1-5-11. So as Joey said, just starting to create a bit of space on the scoreboard now. Well, the Hawks, what have the Hawks got to offer? For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Those Seagulls certainly are flooding around the through the effects mic there, Ash. Was there some
loud, that's for sure.
Seagulls squealing. Well, the bounce is good, tap down to ground level. Burn-Jones kicks it off the ground, travels 40 metres to half forward. Motlop comes out, the ball got an unkind bounce his way, so allowed Scrimshaw in. Little hand pass off to Warple, kick to the leading player, McAvoy off half forward to Leah. Shoved him under the footy, claimed it, hand pass back to Burn-Jones. Another hand pass back to Drew, back to Burn-Jones. Little short kick over the top to Amon. New contact was coming, kept his eyes on the footy, took the mark.
They've got the outnumber, the power, although Amon just took his time to get it there. It was well done by Daniel Howe on the mark, and the ball goes inside 50 and out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Port Adelaide, leading this one by 21 points. 4 unanswered goals. Inside 50, can't shoot.
Port have had 16 out of the last 17 entries inside 50. Overall, 24-7.
Hawks just hanging in here. Throw in inside 50. Ollie Wines outside of the boot, top of the square. Ground ball now. Hardwick had a little fumble, under pressure. Porter swarming. As much as the Seagulls, they're everywhere.
Yes.
And they're going to get another free kick. It's going to go the way of Connor Rosie. Held without the ball.
Well, you can hear it through the effects mics, not just the Seagulls. Harvey Norman replay. Dead set. Was it Joe Danaher who got a fine for staging last week? He absolutely made the umpire see that there wasn't a whole lot in it, and you can hear the Hawthorn faithful who have rocked up tonight very unimpressed with umpire number 12.
Yeah, certainly the umpire there, Connor Rosie. He's going to kick this from 50 out straight in front. 9 goals, 1 from set shots. Normally a beautiful shot for goal, and of course, as soon as I say that, it goes across the face of goal.
He's been levelled off the ball, Joey. Warple got him, it'll be on the goal line.
It was Tom Mitchell, in fact. And it's going to be a free kick on the goal line. Let's get a look at this again. After he missed it, Tom Mitchell just came up to him and bowled him over. It was unnecessary. Rosie went to ground pretty easily again. And Charlie Dixon will be the recipient from point blank range. He's got his second. Hawks fans don't like it.
I was watching the goals down here. I've got no idea.
And on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, Port Adelaide 6-2-38. The Hawks 1-5-11. Tom Mitchell needs to be better than that.
Yeah, he does, and the umpire was right on the scene too. I still wouldn't mind looking at it again because he did look like he did go down a bit easy for mine. Just a bit of a learning experience for young Sam Mays as well. He was down there next to Charlie Dixon. He ran to the fight. Charlie Dixon ran to the ball. The easiest goal you would ever get.
Well, there you go. Bob Jane T-Marts, Miggy Roberts.
Another knee injury for Port Adelaide. Todd Marshall, it's also a right knee. He's brought himself off the ground, so doctors testing the slackness. They do all that testing, so he's in a bit of pain. Right knee, testing his knee. That is Todd Marshall.
Just looked at the Harvey Norman replay there. He's Tommy Mitchell probably regrets that action for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Tap down to O'Meara. Tries to work it out of the centre for the Hawks. Little scrubby kick as he was being tackled to half forward. In the way was Burton. Burn-Jones combine. A little blue happens off the ball with Burn-Jones and Shields. Frederick comes in. A few spot fires around the ground at the moment. Started to raise the temperature a little bit here at Marvel. Rosie's got the free kick on the outer side wing. So Port with a footy. All players virtually in Port Adelaide's forward half. Kicks backwards, just defensive side of the centre to Mackenzie. And the left footer off half back has control of the ball. Frederick is short. He goes shorter to Burn-Jones. There's 15 metres just inside the square defensive side.
True centre half back. Kick went about 8 metres to Motlop. Umpire said not 15. And that kick went about 12 metres to Amon. The umpires paid that one, so they're still at half back, Port Adelaide. Kicked all 3 goals in this second term. They've turned a 10-point quarter-time lead into a 28-point lead. Halfway through this second quarter. And they're happy to control the football. Amon, just inside the boundary line, back of the wing. Plays on, runs past the man on the mark and will drive it towards half forward. Georgiades at the back, couldn't take the mark. Well done, Frost. Good pressure from Port Adelaide. The umpire said holding the ball. Nothing's going the way of the Hawks this quarter. It looked like he got a handball away.
Yeah, he took the tackle on, and in the motion of going to ground in the tackle was good enough to get a fist on it in the direction of his player. The umpire pinged him very stiff.
So Powell Pepper feigned like he was going to go for goal, pulled the kick into the pocket, and he had some good chemistry with Scotty Lysette, who's taken the mark just inside the boundary line, and he's going to step out and snap this one around the body.
1 more metre. Thank you. Thank you. No, he's fine. He is fine. You're on the mark. Stand there, please.
Scotty Lysette.
15 seconds. 15 gone.
Kicked it the match winner last week against the Sydney Swans. He's going to wheel around, screw it around the body, and for a big man, he struck it nicely, but hit the top of the post. And a let off there for the Hawks. Port Adelaide 6-4-40. The Hawks struggling 1-5-11. Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. If you need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. Shoeman, Red Z lending numbers.
Yeah, the Hawks, they've had 18 less disposals and they've only laid 5 tackles for the quarter. 3 less tackles than Port Adelaide.
Hardwick runs out of fullback. Kicks long to the wing and McAvoy in front this time of Lysett marks. The Hawks are screaming for a 50. Lysett still stands the mark. McAvoy, 25 metres, little pass to O'Meara. He skips back with the footy. Still virtually right on the wing, broadcast side. Drops it just inside forward 50. Pack of 4 will fly. Big fist on the footy. Shields has got it. Immediately wrapped up in a tackle on Hawthorn's forward 50. And the umpire to ball it up again. 45-degree angle away from their goal. And desperate for one here. They trail by 29 points now. The Hawks 15.5 second term.
McAvoy down to O'Meara. Goes with an inside-out barrel, top of the square. Mackenzie might have pushed Kaczynski. Umpire said play on. Alier under pressure. Kicks it along the boundary line. Clears a defensive 50. Frost. Can he gather? Had a little fumble. Port Adelaide got the numbers. Wines. Well done, Frost. Shoveled it out to O'Meara. Working hard. Now the umpire's going to be forced to ball it up. 55 round from the Hawthorn goal. Choice Hotels around the grounds. True game at the MCG.
Blues leading the Dockers by 20 points, 16 minutes into the second quarter.
The Blues still doing it nicely across town here. It's all Port Adelaide at the moment. Mitchell has it tapped his way. Real high kick inside forward 50. And Mackenzie read it beautifully in a big pack and took the mark on his chest.
What's Mitchell's numbers for the quarter, Chew? Seems like we haven't heard a lot of him being called.
Spot on, Daisy. Only 2 touches this quarter opposed to 8 in the first.
Burn-Jones to Alier. It's got Jonas at defensive 50. Aliyah's deep back pocket at the moment. Play on, too short, the kick to Motlop. And he sees Drew lead up and he hits him. Still in the side there, defensive 50 Port Adelaide. Just chipping it around, 29 points their lead. 17 minutes now, second term. Kicks to the wing, Dixon in front, won't mark. Full of the ball, the Hawks a chance, Hardigan. Hand pass Phillips a little bit wide of him. Allowed Bonner in to put the body pressure on and force the footy out of bounds. True wing position, broadcast side of the ground. 6:4:40 of 1:5:11 here. 17.5 second quarter. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Need to generate something, Hawthorn. They've made some changes. Segler tries to follow up his own work. Coming through hard, Phillips did well. He got a clever handball to Mitchell, who again had a fumble. Just been a bit of the story of the night for the Hawks. And it spills out towards Boak, who goes down the line, and Scrimshaw came off his man. Spoilt the ball in front of Charlie Dixon and Sam Frost.
John's up.
Well, the Hawks' pressure, Joey, it's come down a little bit, which means Port Adelaide being able to just pick their way through them. What are they going at by foot, the Port Adelaide Footy Club, in this quarter, please, Two-Man?
Yeah, they're going very well, Daisy. They're going at 76%. AFL average is 67. Hawks only at 47.
Boundary throw-in. Lysett nearly grabbed it out of the ruck. Quick kick out of the pack towards the wing here. Jonas in a one-on-one. Wrestles away from the footy. Kajitsky, nice little pick up for the Hawks. Hand pass off to O'Brien, who kicks him to half forward. Vacant territory. Leonard goes at the footy at half back. Bruce hustled him off it, then had nowhere to go. He spun around and saw Burton, and Burton forced him out of bounds. Still about 45 around from the Hawks' goal. Just the one goal on the board. The Hawks had kicked by Bruce in the first term. Beautiful set shot from 40 out, close to the boundary, and haven't been able to split the big sticks since. Joey?
Boundary throw in. A lot of numbers around this contest. Ball not going anywhere. Hawks have been able to create a bit of space deep. They've got Kazitsky in a one-on-one with McKenzie. Tom Jonas now will peel off that big pack of players and provide the extra supporters. The power win the clearance again. Boak to Drew, and now to Frederick, who's shown a bit, takes a bounce, runs to Truce and half back, takes a second bounce, runs himself into a bit of a trouble, wasn't sure what to do. And in the end, he turned it over straight to Jack Scrimshaw.
Yeah, that's why he looked like he didn't know what to do. He looked up and he saw the two spare Hawthorn numbers. He was trying to buy himself some time. Rosé was the only man. He didn't break for him, didn't do him any favours, led to nowhere, and he just, in the end, had to cough the ball up.
Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. The great Dale Thomas, as Hardwick's got it on the wing and kicks long inside. Big leap, no mark for the Hawks. For the ball, 25 from their goal. Massive pack around this. They try to work it out. Hand pass out wide, Bruce. It's grabbed by Newcomb. He's pushed on the kicker, went straight up in the air. Howe's got it, pushed it back to Bruce. Hand pass off towards his teammate Newcomb again. Over the top to Moore. He's with Frederick. One-on-one. Frederick won it. Hand pass to Bonner. It's pushed out of bounds. Just no easy pathway into goal for the Hawks at the moment, Dave.
You're pretty kind there on Newcomb on the Harvey Norman replay there, Baz. He went the right foot banana. He hit the right foot check side. Yeah. He actually lost ground for his team. Hard to do that.
It is. He found a way.
Ball thrown in, 40 around. O'Brien grabs it out of the ruck, tries to get the handball out to Shields, who lays a big tackle on Jonas. And they're getting a couple of opportunities now with some repeat stoppages inside 50. They need it though, Chew. Not many numbers are going their way. Red Z Lending.
No, definitely not. And they've got some low numbers with some of the mids, but I'll come back to you shortly.
Yep. Newcomb again on hands and knees. A lot of players here. Boak just dropped the football. And O'Meara. And now it shovels out to Bruce. Can he create something? He tried to get out of trouble and he couldn't. Good tackling by Port Adelaide. Some of the low numbers for Hawks.
Yeah, Howe had 31 touches last week, only 6 disposals to date. Shields with 6. Tommy Phillips also with 6, and Mitchell only 2 touches in this quarter.
Red Z Landing stats, Ash all over the low numbers as Jonas has got it in the back pocket. The skipper for Port Adelaide kicks long outside, and Segler got a fist on it, went out of bounds, and he's rolls and tumbles, gets back up. So halfway between wing and half forward for the Hawks, who go to the Coventry end in this second term. Still 6 minutes of the first half left to play here. Around the grounds, Ash, what's happening at the MCG?
Blues leading the Dockers by 19 points, 23 into the second quarter.
So Carlton have led for most of all of the first half in that one. And Port Adelaide here maintain control. Boundary throw in, slap back out of bounds again. And still the same position. Push forward a little bit the Hawks' way. About 65 from their goal.
Daniel, stay clear. Stay clear.
Just under 6 minutes left in the half. Yep. Hawks still with only the one goal. Now was Bruce, the opening goal of the game. Big fist from Segler. Goes inside 50. O'Brien wraps up Frederick. And we'll have another stoppage. Carl Amon having all sorts of trouble trying to get his boot back on, so he gave up, threw it down to the trainer. Robbo, Bob Jane, T. March.
Todd Marshall still in trouble. Right knee, he went back on. He's tried to run it out, but It's been a knee knock, Joey, and quite painful, so he's off the ground again. Todd Marshall.
Ball's on the wing. Hardwick, hand pass to Frost. And Frost for the Hawks to bang him back again to half forward. Again, fists everywhere. Ball goes to ground. Frederick, hand pass to Bonner. He kicks back to the wing. Kick partially touched. Play on. Segler back of the pack claims it. Hand pass off to his teammate in Greaves. Ends up back with Hardwick on the wing.
That was well done by Hardwick. He wanted to go across the face of goal. He saw Motlop was all over it and was able to come back towards boundary side. And Howe couldn't keep it in. Goes out of bounds. Carl Amon's given up trying to get his boot on, so he's taken himself to the bench and allowed Connor Rosie to come back onto the ground into this stoppage. Just forward to the wing for Hawthorn. 5:12 left in this second term. They need to generate a goal somehow, Hawthorn, but again they lose a clearance. Burton just gets it about 25 metres towards Pepper. Well done, Greaves. Newcomb, O'Meara, but Port Adelaide players are everywhere. Yeah.
He broke 2 tackles on O'Meara, couldn't break the third,
and he's wrapped up by Ollie Wines. And their pressure has certainly been much better than Hawthorn's in this second term.
Yeah, the pressure's certainly lifted around the footy, especially. Hawthorn probably out-hunted them in that first quarter. Obviously, a directive coming out of that quarter time, and they've been fantastic. And on the back of that, just being able to control the footy, uncontested marks, I'm assuming in this quarter, two-man would be high for Port Adelaide, conversely to Hawthorn.
Yeah, spot on for Triple M Red Zed. 17-6 Port Adelaide's way.
Port Adelaide just short kicks across half-back. Motlop, another short one over the top to Jonas. He's on the wing out of side. Defensive side of the wing. Port Adelaide lead by 29 points. And we're 24 minutes into the second term on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. Now the kick across half-back broadcast side ends up with Bonner, who kicks out wide to Lysett on his own. 20 metres in the clear, but it was too wide and it bounced out of bounds. So a boundary throw in on the wing here. Broadcast side, neutral territory. The game has stagnated somewhat. 400 games for Sean Burgoyne. Ash, how's he gone in the first half?
Sean Burgoyne for Triple M Red Z, 4 touches.
Boundary throw in, Joey, on the wing.
Ollie Wines head over the footy. Howe in there. O'Meara, who's been trying to work hard, but again, Port Adelaide win that clearance. Mays touched off the boot. Umpire said play on inside 50. Hardigan and Georgiades in a foot race. Georgiades has got the speed. Can he pick it up cleanly? He does, and then steps inside Hardigan. Did it well, and then comes back inboard. Bergman dropped the mark inside 50. Goes and gets it again. Outside of the boot. Oh, he made the difficult look easy. He's kicked his second. What a wonderful finish. And Port Adelaide have got 7 on the board in this first half. They're 7-4-46. The Hawks are stuck on 1-5-11. 3 minutes 30 to play in this first half. Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. If you need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com.
I tell you what, Mitch Georgiades, he is an absolute ripper, Joey. He's got some serious wheels too. When that ball hit the deck, he was off hard after it. And then once he got it, the composure to lower the eyes to Birdman, who was good enough. That was a very impressive finish as we have a look on the Harvey Norman replay. Step through one and just with the outside of the boot from 40, the big check side, straight over the goal umpire's hat. Back to the point of this pressure that we're talking about. This quarter, Hawthorn going at 188, so still above the AFL average. Port Adelaide off the charts, 221.
And 3 out of the 4 majors for Port Adelaide in this quarter have come from Hawthorn turnovers.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, tap down towards Newcomb. He's worked off it again. Rosie, hand pass off to Boak. Another one of Wines, back to Boak. And now a kick for Port Adelaide. High to half forward. It's in front of Motlop. Motlop works him under the footy. Just taps to the advantage of his teammate. Georgiades, hand pass over the top to Mays. He's tackled, immediately lost it. Spilled the Frost. They're under heat, Hawthorn. They're under real heat here. Warple's got it to Bramble, got it to Segler. Hand pass to Frost, landed at his toes, allowed Boak back in. GS got it. They're still on defensive 50. And Port Adelaide come in numbers. Houston, one of those, sits on top of the pack and the umpire to ball it up. And again, they hold it in their forward half. 7-4-46 to 1-5-11. Port Adelaide dominating the Hawks at the moment. 26.5 second term.
Wines, high kick inside 50. Frost just having a couple of moments. Frosty, we know he's capable of them. Boak along the boundary line. Handball only as far as Hardigan, who goes towards the wing and it fortuitously finds Tom Mitchell. His numbers for Red Z Lending Stats, Chew.
12 touches.
And Mitchell going to go along down the line. 1v1, but McKenzie came across, made it a 2v1, and then gave away a free kick towards Luke Bruce. Bronx cheers from the crowd. What are the free kick numbers, Chu?
14-10, Port Adelaide's way.
Yeah, no real need for the Hawks fans to be frustrated. They're just getting outplayed. And again, Port Adelaide win the ball back in their defensive 50. Burton to Bonner. High kick, top of the 50. Port Adelaide just got numbers everywhere. They're doing it easily now. Wines to Drew, to Houston. And they've got a player out goal side here. It's Mays.
So Mays turns and looks at a pretty open forward line. So Rosie runs forward. He kicks it out in front of him. Picks it up in the bounce. The Hawks fans giving him the boost. As he fumbles and it goes out of bounds, Dave. And you didn't mind that.
Oh, I like it, Baz.
Yes.
It's a bloke who's been on the receiving end of a few of them.
Yes.
You know you've gotten under about 15,000 people's skins, and that is a rare talent. You've got to just really enjoy it, embrace it.
And do it with a smile on your
And
face.
that's it, and every now and then just flip him the bird.
Oh, of course. Of course. Cop the fine?
Yeah, cop it.
The ball thrown in, 60 around from the Port Adelaide goal. Now they're just dominating around this football now. Mays to Houston. And there's a hold off the ball. And the defenders are now panicking.
Yeah, that's what that one was, Joey. The classic sign, the arms around the waist as the ball came in. That's the cue for the umpire, top of the square.
It's going to go the way of Todd Marshall.
Against Hardigan. Harvey Norman replay, very clear to see. Just as soon as that ball came in, panicked as he thought Marshall was going to have the little lock and jump at it. Panic, put the arms around.
Should be pretty straightforward for a man of this talent. Already kicked the 1-goal-1. 15 metres out, slight angle. To extend the lead. He makes no mistake. He's got his second. Port Adelaide have kicked all 5 goals in this second term. They've kicked 7 in a row. And they've blown this one out to a 41-point lead. The Hawks have been disappointing. 8-4-52. Hawthorn 1-5-11. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Well, they've just upped the ante, and Hawthorn have had no answers. They've been too good around the ball. And it's their centre square clearances as well, man. 7-zip, I think it is.
Yeah, spot on, Daisy.
Oh, so that is a genuine touch-up. When you think of the class and the quality in there, they've got Mitchell, Warple and O'Meara in this centre bounce. They're not very good numbers.
Just a Triple M Red Z. Usually teams will give away 3 free kicks inside their defensive 50. Hawthorn have conceded 6 already in a half.
Big numbers from Ash, and the Hawks are in all sorts of trouble approaching half-time. In a night they want to celebrate, and Port Adelaide all over them, giving them a belting at the moment. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy again, Port out of the centre. Drew, high kick inside, under a minute left to play first half. Rosie off hands, he'll have a snap from 40, he's missed. He's pushed it right. And the Hawks fans have got something to cheer about. 8-5-53, Port 1-5-11 Hawthorn.
That's your moment, Baz. You kick it, you end up in the crowd, and you just have a look at them and say, hello, how are you all?
Look at me.
Yes, it's about me, not about you.
Correct.
Hawks fans clutching at straws too when the cheering now when Connor Rosie makes mistakes. So that gives them something to cheer about. Shawnee Burgoyne takes the mark. Still in his defensive 50. He's trying to hold onto the footy for as long as he can. He's enjoying that round of applause. He's not enjoying what his team have dished up in this first half, though. His kick goes long towards Segler. Did he kick the ball in? No, it was out of bounds on the full. Now, everything that could go wrong in this first half has gone wrong for Hawthorn. And it's going to be Alier, who's going to send it back towards the 50 with about 12 seconds to go in the quarter. CJ Giath sees that one out of bounds. Port Adelaide lead by 42 points, 10 seconds left in the half.
42. There's a big half of football for Port. And the Hawks, with hopes and expectations here tonight, will gather at half-time and try to manifest something for this second half, because they've been well outplayed by a classy Port Adelaide tonight. As the kick inside's being marked by Burgoyne, rolls and tumbles. The 400 gamer hangs onto the footy as the half-time siren goes. Big quarter of football for Port Adelaide. They're 8-5-53, and they're belting the Hawks by 42 points to a 1-5-11. That was on the Choice Hotel scoreboards. Ash, around the grounds for Choice Hotels.
Half-time, Baz, and the margin is only 12 points to the Blues, 7-2-44 to the Dockers, 4-8-32.
Joey Montagna's in the house with the great Dale Thomas, Mickey Roberts, Ashley Churin, Baz, and for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
that quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
ask your plumber to install a Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Triple M is your home of rock, sport and comedy. And tomorrow, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
You don't get to be as close a team as the Sunday Rub without some honest feedback.
Now, Ross, if Howie keeps rocking up 2 or 3 minutes before our show starts, what's the sort of feedback that we need to give?
It's a little bit hypocritical at the minute because I just wasn't far in front of it.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from 1 for the Pies and Saints. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Bonus local delivery on Australian-made mattresses now at Harvey Norman. Now's the time to upgrade your mattress and support Australian-made. Our range includes the best names in Australian-made mattresses from Sleepmaker, Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, King Coil and Body Balance by A.H. Beard. Buy now and take advantage of bonus local delivery on purchases over $999. Support local manufacturers and choose Australian-made. Available in-store only. Conditions apply. Bonus local delivery on Australian-made mattresses now at Harvey Norman.
So much sport, so little time. Don't you wish you could take all the sporting news and just squash it into something easier?
It's tight. What?
Welcome to the Scorecard Podcast with me, Liam Flanagan. It's your sport for the day, fast and fun. The Scorecard puts the biggest sports stories from Oz and abroad in your ears every morning without all the boring bits. Listen for free by downloading the Listener app or search The Scorecard.
Listener.
Every day, more and more Aussies are finding creative ways to add power pollen to their lives. So I asked the question, how do you power pollen?
I put 2 on my cereal every day.
I sprinkle them on toast, so yum.
In a smoothie with a banana.
Power up with Power Pollen. Get your 6-month supply now. That's 400 capsules for just $129.95 plus delivery and receive a bonus pack of hot menthol lozenges. How do you power pollen? powerpollen.com.au.
Hey, Tim, how's the new landscaping business going?
Just waiting for the phone to ring. Hey, your business is a success. Any tips?
Well, you're a Landscaping Victoria member, right?
No.
Oh, mate, everyone knows the best landscapers are members. Sign up with Landscaping Victoria and that phone of yours will start. Oh, sorry, mate. 1 sec.
To find out how membership can grow your skills, network and business, go to masterlandscaper.com.au. Landscaping Victoria Master Landscapers. The best from the ground up.
Harris Scarf's big stock take sale has arrived, and you'll find great deals on the latest winter trends across all our designer brands for your entire home and wardrobe to keep you cosy through the cooler months. Enjoy 40 to 60% off all homewares in Manchester, 30 to 50% off all clothing, footwear and underwear, and a huge 20 to 30% off all electrical. Great brands, great prices in-store and online. That's Harris Scarf. Hurry, sale ends Sunday 18th of July. Exclusions apply. See in-store or online for details.
Do you work in a small or medium-sized business that uses satellite imagery? Imagine seeing 36 times more detail and historical views. Thanks to MetroMap, you can. With no data caps and no hidden costs, you can measure remotely with coverage across more than 90% of Australian residences. Start your MetroMap free trial today and discover more detailed and accurate aerial imagery. Visit metromap.com.au. Powered by Aerometrics. It's more than a map. T's and C's apply.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
Halftime here at Marvel Stadium, and it's Port Adelaide dominating the Hawks. They are 8-5-53. Hawthorn disappointing 1-5-11. Todd Marshall and Miles Bergman, a couple of youngsters, the multiple goal scorers for Port Adelaide. Luke Bruce, the only goal scorer for the Hawks in what is Shawnee Burgoyne's game number 400. It was a nice moment pre-game. They had the guard of honour with some ex-teammates and family and friends, but it's been a really disappointing first half from Hawthorn here at Marvel Stadium. They kicked the opening goal of the game to Luke Bruce, and since then it has been all Port Adelaide with 8 unanswered goals, 5 in that term, to take a comfortable half-time lead. Lee Montagne in commentary, Barry Denner enjoying a well-earned break, Daisy Thomas, and this man, Ash Stewart. Some of the numbers as to why Port Adelaide were able to dominate that first half.
Well, the centre clearances are 8-zip to Port Adelaide. Look at the inside 50s, 31 to 13. The time in the forward half, as Joey spoke about, it's been a struggle for Port Adelaide this year. They're ranked 12th in the comp. They're going at 58% tonight to Hawthorn only 42. Daisy spoke about Port's pressure. They're cracking in at 201. The AFL average is 180. If you look at their scores from turnovers, 5 out of the 8 majors for Port Adelaide had come from Hawthorn turnovers. Just some leading ball winners. Ollie Wines is averaging career-high touches this year at 31 per game. He's racked up 20 in a half, coupled with 7 clearances. Amon, champion data, have him as the number 1 ranked player. 14 touches, 10 kicks, gain 100% efficiency. Motlop's been busy with 12. Alir, 12 disposals, 4 marks, 7 intercept possessions. Dixon with a couple of goals. It's for the Hawks. Mitchell's had 12, but only 4 in that second quarter. Warple and O'Meara 10 apiece, but these are the low numbers for Hawthorn. Shields 6, Howe 6, Phillips 6, and Moore. He's kicked 20 majors for the season, just the 1 touch and scoreless to date.
This is, of course, the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe, and extra easy. Daisy Thomas, something has caught your eye at Marvel Stadium here at halftime?
Yeah, we've spoken a little bit about the Seagulls and the influx of them, and they've been a little bit when the players have been out there, of course, been smart enough not to hit the field of play. Well, they've sensed an opportunity at half-time here, and they have just come from everywhere. Ooh. Obviously, the punters here and enjoying, in front of us here in the Medallion Club, enjoying some 400 Grati and whatnot. Well, I reckon they're about to... There's a Seagull dead set flying around with a full box of pizza in his mouth. I'm not sure if he's running for Uber Eats or something, but he's nicked a box of McDonald's as well. They've gone absolutely bunter down there, the Seagulls.
You're right. People that have got their chips are ducking for cover.
Yes.
They are in all sorts here at Marvel Stadium underneath us at the Medallion Club. The Hawks are dominating the attention because it was a disappointing half from the Hawks, Daisy. We thought what they'd shown in the first 3 weeks since the bye, they defeated the Swans, who are in good form, defeated the Giants, who have shown they are in good form, and took the Bombers right to the last quarter to beat them a couple of weeks ago in Tassie. But this has been a very, very average first half. Clarko will be fuming.
Yeah, he will be. The first quarter wasn't as bad as that second quarter. We spoke about a few tactical decisions that were made. Port Adelaide choosing to send Stephen Motlop up into the stoppage. And on the back of that, Hawthorn were happy to take the +1. So we spoke about the Hawthorn pressure early. They were good enough around the footy to force those balls that were coming out of the clearances because they were getting a bit of a touch-up early in the clearances. But they were coming in high. They weren't overly clean looks. So they were able to mop it up and try and get some play on the back of that. But in that second quarter, they were all over them, Port Adelaide. They put the Hawks under pressure, forced them into error. And when they got it, they just couldn't get a glove back on them, the Hawks. They chipped the ball around the uncontested marks. I think they were about +10 for the quarter. And they just made the ground big. And then when they went inside 50, that inside 50 count, 31-13. It's a very risky way to play when you are going to give up field position against a team that is so good. And as you said, they're 12th. They're sort of middle of the road for that stat this year. But that's when they were at their best last year. That's what they were, the team, and what they based their one-wood around.
Yeah, it's going to take some Clarko genius for the Hawks to get back into this game in the second half. For Choice Hotels around the grounds, if you need a break, book direct and save with choicehotels.com. Chew, a couple of ladder-shaping games took place this afternoon. Of course, there is also another game going on at the MCG. Just a bit of a full recap of those games, please.
Yeah, so earlier this afternoon, an upset Giants defeated the Demons by 9 points. Toby Green kicked 3 majors, and Kelly, he was the leading ball winner for GWS with 29 disposals and a goal. So what it means for Melbourne, obviously, is that they're currently on top of the table, but if the Bulldogs defeat North Melbourne tomorrow, Melbourne slip to second, Bulldogs will be on top. And then a short while ago, Brisbane were too good for the Adelaide Crows. They topped up with some nice percentage. 17-9, 111, defeated Adelaide by 52 points, 8-11, 59. Jared Lyons, 31 touches and 10 tackles, and McCarthy kicked 4 majors. And the other game, as we speak at the MCG, it's half-time, Joey. It's Carlton, only by 12 points, 7-2-44 to Freo, 4-8-32. Blues got out to a 28-point lead early into that second quarter.
And of course, Taylor Walker got subbed out with concussion as well in that game between Brisbane Lions and Adelaide. The halftime Amy segment, the Amy Clangers. Amy who covers Clangers. Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Daisy Thomas is the leader with 11 Amy halftime clangers in the first 16 rounds. Chew and I have had a few. Baz, you haven't had too many. I don't know what this Amy clanger is, but I'm hoping you might feature in this first half.
And the IJ Liga scoreboard is Will Farrell about to walk past Mickey Roberts down there. We'll get down to Mickey shortly.
So the ball thrown back in. Ollie Wines, another clearance, so that's 6-0. I think we've got our Amy half-time clanger. We'll keep that up our sleeve.
I think I said
Charlie Dixon. Good to see Will Farrell here today, the A-list celebrity.
Oh, no.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, jeez.
Baz watching too many movies.
Poor old Kane Farrell.
Kane
He's
Farrell.
got to.
I'm sure his teammates call him Will.
No, I hope so.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Very good there. Did you notice the respect we gave you?
Yeah.
We didn't want to giggle. We tried to keep straight faces. And
I appreciate
There wasn't an immediate pile-on,
Wow.
but then the giggle came.
I just sensed it. You know how you can sense something in place? I just knew. I just put my head down.
Will Ferrell.
The poor kid was crook.
Yes, you're right.
It's no good. But
Hollywood A-listers,
Yeah.
they're all here. But that's all right, Baz. That's your first half-time
Appreciate
Amy
it.
clanger. But it was a good one, Amy, who covers clangers. But, of course, this game is all about Shawnee Burgoyne. He has been absolutely a superstar for, 20 years now. And Daisy and I, we had the pleasure of playing a lot of footy against him. Get to know him a little bit. He's a wonderful bloke. But let's, once again, just go down memory lane and let's take a listen to some of Shawnee Burgoyne's greatest highlights, courtesy of Triple M.
He's going back now, Sean Burgoyne. There's not much he can't do, to be completely honest. Crosses the square now, loads up, right underneath. It'll be right to the line. It's home. He can do everything, this man. He's a Superman, Sean Burgoyne.
Getting all over Luckworth, over top lane, taps it to Jew, off hands. Number 8, Sean Burgoyne.
Burgoyne off the pack. That is as good as it gets.
It comes to Burgoyne. Burgoyne runs to 45. He's a Rolls Royce, Sean Burgoyne.
Just phenomenal player. Loved playing with him. One of my favourite players of all time.
Oh, it's something special, and to line up against my former club, which is, where I got my start in AFL footy. But yeah, it's unbelievable. Never thought I'd get here, and a lot of luck's gone my way. But yeah, it's something I look back life after footy and reflect on.
Floats one, real dangerous spot. That annoys down. Oh, McCarrick to Burgoyne. There's a big grand final moment.
Put one on to Burgoyne. Unmarked on 50. Takes a one-step thing to goal. What a champion Sean Burgoyne is. They get around him from everywhere.
Number 9. Sean Burgoyne.
Well, I don't call this guy Silk for nothing.
Wants to handball forward to Burgoyne. Why wouldn't you? Lines up the champ and does what he does best. This is a superstar.
Well, let's see if the Hawks can find something at half-time to get back into this game for Shawnee Burgoyne, because they currently trail by 42 points. Second half, not far away. Stick with us here at Marvel Stadium. Joey, Baz, Daisy, Robbo and Ash Chua for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
I'm on Burgundy. That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M's your home of rock, sport and comedy. Now with Marty Sheargold for breakfast.
Leather pants aren't for everyone.
Can you please wear leather pants in one morning?
We'd have to bend his knees and just keep waddling in.
You'd have squelch. We'd have to get a crane to get you out of the car.
Good thing you've got a moon roof.
When you've all finished fat-shaming me, I'll continue.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6.
Marty Sheargold, I think he's so
Catch up with the podcast from the Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
Did you know some insurers don't offer optional 24/7 emergency home assist, but Amy does. So if you're locked out, or your power cuts out, or a pipe bursts, we'll organise for a locksmith, electrician or plumber to sort you out. Go with the doers. Amy does.
You're with Amy.
T's and C's and geographical limitations apply. This optional cover is available 24 hours after purchase with Amy Home Building Insurance. Before buying this insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS. Go to amy.com.au for a copy.
New Dan Murphy's catalogue is out now. Find unbeatable offers on a range of drinks, like a 700ml bottle of new Bombay Sapphire Sunset Gin for just $59.90 each. Shop more unbeatable catalogue offers in-store or on the Dan Murphy's app today. Choose to drink wise. Conditions apply. Offer ends Wednesday, July 14.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles have European-made timber look laminate flooring for under $19 per square metre. Yes, National Tiles exclusive European oak look flooring for under $19 per metre. That's less than $190 for an average 10 square metre bedroom floor. National Tiles. Now you can get a quality finish for less. Rush in now and save.
It's Gordon Tallis here. Do you need access to your working capital? Then speak with us at Apricity Finance today. Apricity Finance provides a flexible invoice finance facility that grows with your business. There are no lengthy contracts or hidden fees. And what's best, we can pay up to 95% of approved invoices on the spot. Apricity Finance is made for business that works with big business. If you're working on a big contract, call us on 1300 APRI CITY or visit apricityfinance.com and turn your workflow into cash flow.
I'm Dr. Paul Gow. As a gastroenterologist, I know how vital liver health is. In fact, 1 in 4 people in Victoria have fatty liver disease. Your liver is like the canary in the coal mine, the first indicator of wider health issues like diabetes, heart disease, stroke and cancer. Healthy choices mean a healthier liver. So the first defence is lifestyle. The second is a liver function test. Find out more at liverwell.org.au.
Business pressures, tax, cash flow, competitors, loan commitments. Not much fun left, is there?
I'm Simone from Your Business Angels. There's no shame in admitting you need help. We can solve many of your business issues so you can start enjoying your business again. After all, you're in business to improve your life, not suffer in silence.
Solve these nagging business issues and call Your Business Angels on 9898 2559. That's 9898 2559. Repair the past and rescue the future.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Half-time break will be coming to a close shortly. Port Adelaide out on the ground. The Hawks not far away. 8-5-53 Port. 1 goal, 5-11 Hawthorn is the mad story. Port Adelaide by 42 points. 5 goals to zip in that second quarter. Port led by 10 points at quarter time. The great Joey Montagna is here calling the action. Of course, Daisy Thomas looking after us for the Seabus Supers tonight. And Daisy, as always, you're just finding plenty of things to have a look at the footy.
Yeah, well, there's not a whole lot going on in the game in that second half. So we're just sort of making our own entertainment up here, trying to liven up. It's Saturday night. I've lost track of the nights with so much footy going on at the minute. So at 9:05 on a Saturday night, we're just enjoying what's happening. The Auskick kids getting swooped by seagulls was a highlight.
Yes.
There's the birds there everywhere. Mickey Roberts reckons his hands are freezing off. He's got frostbite, which is interesting because on one hand he's got a glove and the other hand he's got a mitten with his fingertips out. So he's probably only got himself to blame.
Poor choice of PPE.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, if you're going to do it right.
Yes.
Hopefully for the Hawks' sake, they can find something and Clarko can just flick the switch a little bit in this second half coming up. We know, I think it was round 1, Essendon got out to about 40-odd points and they managed to change the way they played, a bit more run and gun. So we expect to see a little bit of that and we hope that they can get back and just keep it somewhat respectable for Shawnee Burgoyne because you don't want to be chaired off after a 100-point loss.
Ash, I know you've been around the grounds, but just go around again for us and also have a bit of a look tomorrow at where we're heading on Triple M footy because a few games of football tomorrow as well, Ash.
Some big games tomorrow, but at the G as we speak, Baz, Fremantle taking on the Blues early into the third quarter. Carlton by 12 points, 7-2-44 to Freo 4-8-32. Blues got out to a 28-point lead early into the second quarter.
Yep.
And for tomorrow in Triple M footy, we have Sydney taking on the West Coast Eagles. That's down at GMHBA Stadium. Swans have a very good record down there. I think they've won 3 out of their past 4. And then at 3:20 tomorrow at the MCG, Collingwood taking on St Kilda.
Yep.
And then the match of the round.
Hello.
North Melbourne taking on the Western Bulldogs.
Good call, Ash. It's a big one.
Josh Bruce has a good record.
A Red Z special for you, man.
Yes.
Swans have never played West Coast down at GMHBA before.
Well done, Dace.
I'm writing that one. That's going to be spoken about at our stats page.
I like it. We can have that. Are we still going to that caravan park?
Lake Bogan Caravan Park.
Yes.
Daisy just springs up the real good Red Zeds. Let's go down to ground level. Bob Jane T-Mart's Mickey Roberts.
The big injury, Kane Farrell, obviously right knee, could be serious. He was down here actually talking to his mum over the fence, so he's already been into the room. So a lot of pain, a lot of tears for that young kid. He's only played 33 games, so hopefully fingers crossed for him. I tell you what, it is cold with this. Seriously, with this roof open. I feel like Sir Douglas Mawson's left his vents open seriously down the South Pole. It is seriously cold down here, so you've got to run around and keep warm.
Good on you, Robbo. Enormous courage as always. Half-time break comes to a close for Bosch Power Tools. X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. And this third quarter is brought to you by IJ Liquor. And of course, IJ Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits beer and wine. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. We start the term, Port Adelaide up by 42 points. Joey?
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, and the Hawks will win the first centre clearance, and Clarko's already made his first change. No Mitchell, no Warple in the centre bounce. He went with young John Newcomb in there and O'Meara, and they'll go inside 50 for the first time this quarter. Jonas with a big fist. O'Leary at ground level. Spills out to Howe. Also playing at half forward. Kicks it to the top of the square. How will it bounce? It bounces not favourably for Rosie. Segler. Can he get it to Bramble? Can he get on his left boot? He squeezes one towards goal. Dribbles and through for one behind. First attacking foray inside 50 for the Hawks. They're 1-6-12. Port Adelaide 8-5-53. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
So Jonas to bring it back in. The skipper stands in the defensive square. Now runs out. Kicks the half back to a loose player in Burton. You're just joining us. That noise is a seagull. It's not Daisy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Baz, I've just got in my ear. Not only the umpires mic'd up exclusively, but someone's managed from production to get a microphone on a seagull as well. We cross live to the seagull.
Technology outstanding here at Triple M. There we go.
Yeah, mic'd up exclusively.
Yes.
What can't we do?
That's Mackenzie. Mackenzie at fullback. Mackenzie will go short to Motlop. So Port have gone nowhere. Still at fullback. And the Hawks desperate to get a couple of goals early in this third quarter. Motlop will kick wide again to Houston. Outside defensive 50. Bounced over his head and Hardwick tried to keep it in, but the boundary umpire saw him step a couple of mil over and put his arm up. And about 70 round from the Hawks goal, we'll have another boundary throw in.
They're going to the left of the broadcast, the Lockett end at Marvel Stadium. So Newcomb, O'Meara, Shields start in the centre bounce. Mitchell's come up as a half forward. Give the extra number around this stoppage for the Hawks. They need to generate a bit more clearance and contested ball. Get it in their front half. They do exactly that. Mitchell doesn't get too much purchase on it with his right boot. And it's going to be turned over. Wines, his kick only as far as Rosie. Try to tap it into the path. Look at Lysette. Bursts out of a stoppage like Judd and goes inside 50 to Georgiades in a one-on-one with Burgoyne. Burgoyne went to ground. Georgiades strolls in from the top of the square. And the opening goal of this third term goes the way of Port Adelaide. And Scotty Lysette burst out like a midfielder, like Judd did in his days at the West Coast Eagles. And Port Adelaide go to 9-5-59. The Hawks 1-6-12. 2.5 minutes gone third term.
And they appreciated it too, the Port Adelaide players. Boat came across to him. So did Pal Pepper, and all the way from full forward did Charlie Dixon. That was unbelievable. I can't wait to see this on the Harvey Norman replay. Collected it at full pelt. Almost put a little bit of a goose step on one of the Hawthorn defenders. And then absolutely laced out a 50-metre kick to Georgiades. Clever knock on by Rosie, but here he is. He picks it up off the ground, feigns and handball, brushes away Hardigan, and just laces out to the advantage one-on-one Georgiades. That is the best thing he has done, that being Lysette, since rocking up to the plane after winning a grand final in his footy boots.
Spot on. Buy a mattress in store at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery with purchases over $999. Conditions apply. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy again. Port Adelaide dominating this game out of the centre. Burn Jones streams away. Kicks a long ball to full forward. Rosie in the van. Footy pushed away from him. Hawks got a bit of work to do. Hardwick stuck his head over it. Bounced the kick out the side of the pack. Opportunity went down there for Howe. Hand pass to his teammate Brambles. Put him under the pump. Motlop steals the footy. Hand pass back to Burn Jones. He's got a bit of space here. Didn't go for the kick. Hand pass to Wally Wines, who's 52 out. Long ball towards goal, just to the left. And through for a point, 9-6-60. Now Port Adelaide 1-6-12. The Hawks, sad story on the scoreboard for Hawthorn at the moment. 4 minutes third term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Shawnee Burgoyne will take the kick in. And he'll go long to his two rucks, McAvoy and Segler. Segler had two bites of it, couldn't take the mark. Lysette rose it off the pack. Playing like a midfielder this quarter. The kick around the body goes only as far as Bramble. He's been pretty good for the Hawks, Chew.
Yeah, 10 disposals for Bramble, Red Z.
Doesn't have a lot to go to inside his defensive 50, so it's a clever kick though. He pulled the kick late to Phillips and he marks it millimetres inside the boundary line. Tom Phillips, of course the former Magpie. He's trying to get his team to generate some movement. He's asking them to move. There's not a lot going on here, so he goes back to Scrimshaw and he's getting frustrated as well. Short to Greaves. A lot of Hawks fans like Reeves. I think he's a good user. Although he's he left the footy behind. I don't know which Hawks fan's feeding me this information. He's lucky to get away with that. And it goes short and finds Mitchell.
He ran off without the ball, Joey.
He did. He just put it down and ran away.
It's hard to be a nice user when you forget to take the ball with you.
So Mitchell kicks it to the wing for the Hawks and Segler takes the mark. Segler gets up, the big ruckman. Got players running past, ignores them both. Just trots back with the footy. Hawks at the moment being smashed. 48 points to lead, Port Adelaide. 5.5 third term. Segler, long ball to half forward. And a good mark taken in that pack by Kazitsky. And he's taken this on a 45-degree angle. And he'll drop it onto his boot, 52 out.
Yeah, well, to say they need it is probably the biggest understatement you'll hear tonight. Needs to settle here. He's a lovely kick. Kicked 6 goals in a pre-season competition. Just needs to go back himself. Take the moment, take his full 30 seconds, of course. He can run around a little bit of an arc as he gets closer to the man on the mark if distance will be an issue.
Triple M super special comments. Dale Thomas tonight. If you love life, you'll be listening to him. Kazitsky, long drop punt. 52 metres, it goes just across the face and slapped through for a rush point on the line. 1-7-13 Hawthorn. They kicked the first goal. Luke Bruce kicked that. 9-6-60 Port Adelaide. We're 6.5 into the third term. Triple M IJ the scoreboard.
So Ryan Burton with a kick in. He doesn't go to the point of the square this time. The Hawks overloaded there because that's where they go 95% of the time. So he went to the opposite side of the ground to find Bergman. And now Motlop, who will play game number 199 or 200 next week, in fact. He's on 199 tonight, so Stevie Motlop will join the 200 club, Daisy.
Yes, which is a really nice perk, Baz, too. 2 tickets to every game around Australia, AFL match.
For the rest of your life.
The rest of your life, and 1 grand final ticket.
Fantastic, Daisy.
I wonder if we'll do a photo shoot for the 200 club for Stevie Motlop to join the 200 club, like Shawnee Burgoyne did with the 400 club.
Daisy, Joey.
So Todd Marshall from inside the centre circle at Marvel goes towards Georgiades, couldn't take the mark. Hawks at ground level. Segler took a long time, nearly got run down. It was by Motlop. And now a chance for Bonner. Well done, Giaf. Good tackle. He should get rewarded. The umpire's called play on. He let it go a long time. Crowd aren't happy, and the kick from Drew goes only as far as Frost.
So Frost, who stood at full back, kicks out to the outer side half-back line to Hardwick. And he trots back with the footy. Shields made position 30 metres further on. Delivery was good. And he took the mark halfway between half-back and wing outer side. And Shields just walks back with the footy spitting in his hand. Hawks 1 goal for the match so far. 8 minutes into the third term. Long ball into a pack across the wing outer side. Comes to ground. No clean mark taken. Bergman tracks it for Port Adelaide. Toe poked it off the ground. Straight to Burgoyne, who barrels the ball inside forward 50 for the Hawks. A 3-on-1 against Alia. Alia got a hand on it. Kazitsky kept following the footy. Alia did well. Forced it through for a rush point. The ball was bouncing away from the pack. 1-8 now, 14 Hawthorn. 9-6-60 Port Adelaide, 8.5 third term. IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
And of course, the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. You can get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal, like the old days.
I got 2 of those today, Joey.
Did you really?
I went to Rosebud. I got 1 on the way down and 1 on the way back. I really treated myself.
Good
They're nice too.
Yeah, good thinking.
They're very good Macca's. As the kick goes towards the point of the square this time, like we said, from the kick in. Chain of handballs. They retreat about 30 metres here, Port Adelaide. Now make it 40 metres. Now make it 70 metres. They've handballed themselves all the way back to the defensive goal square. And with Burton, and he switches the play and finds Bergman. He's had a nice game of football tonight, Chew.
9 disposals and kicked a couple of majors.
And Miles Bergman, first round draft pick for Port a few years ago. And his kick was a shocker on that occasion. Out of bounds on the full. And it's going to come back into big boy McAvoy.
So McAvoy, the Hawks press again, goes to Howe over the top. He can run inside forward 50. Boundary side, does he go for goal? He does! And he puts it through! Ripping goal from Howe. He took responsibility and thought, stuff it, I'm going to have a crack. And he kicked the Hawks second. 2 goals, 8-20 they are. 9-6-60 Port Adelaide. as we tick up to the 10-minute mark of the third term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
A bit of excitement, Baz. The Hawks fans loved it. They're here. They're having a good time. They've just been starved of opportunities to cheer. They've turned on a couple of Port Adelaide players, which we don't hate, of course, but that was a super finish. Just thought coming out of the half we might see a little bit more run and gun from Hawthorn off the half-back line. A few more kicks through the corridor. Credit to Port Adelaide. They've set up very well, forced them into a lot of slow play. We'll see if they can as this game wears on and the Port Adelaide players and the defence gets a touch more tight if they can start to open them up through the corridor.
Time in the forward half this quarter for the Hawks so far. They're going at 67%. Their ball use by foot, 81%, opposed to 47% in that second term.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. That's Ash Chua. Can that kickstart the Hawks? McDonald's and Ream hot water, centre bounce. Hawthorn will win it again. Mitchell, handballs back to Greaves. Rode the bump, did it nicely. It was from Rosie. Hardwick, kick inboard, finds Scrimshaw. Can they get some overlap? Oh, the handball from Scrimshaw put Mitchell under all sorts of pressure, but he's good enough to get out of trouble. Back to Scrimshaw and short to Shields. On the Toyota logo. Shields. He ran too far, straight into Byrne-Jones with a terrific smother. Now the turnover, the power on the counter-attack. Mays had a fumble, winds off the ground. Hardigan directing Greaves to try and shepherd for him. Greaves didn't have the speed to be able to shepherd Rosie, and instead he laid a good tackle. And then the ball has gone out of bounds, 15 around from the Port Adelaide goal. Oh, Hardigan just had to go and get the footy, not worry about what his teammate was doing.
Yeah, he didn't do him many favours, did he there, really? Greaves could have put the block on. Rosie, though, a serious set of wheels, ran straight past him, closed a 5-metre gap.
Oh, nice tap from Dixon down the Powell. Pepper, released by hand to Amon, got smashed as he fumbled the footy. Spills to Mays, hand pass off towards Farrell. In fact, sorry, apologies, it was Bonner. Bonner got a hand pass out of the pack to Mitchell for Hawthorn, and got smashed to the ground by Georgiadis. And he got a high contact free kick. So the Hawks safe off half-back. 2-8-20 plays 9-6-60. It's a 40-point lead to Port Adelaide. 12 minutes third term.
Mitchell, not sure what sort of kick that was. He went backwards and towards the boundary line and finds Greaves. And it's just going to be hemmed in, so he's forced to kick it long down the line. And that's where they were queuing up Port Adelaide. And it's Ollie Wines who takes the mark, and he wants to go quick, goes towards centre-half forward. Giath let the ball bounce, and now he's put himself in a bit of trouble, facing away from goal. Frost, Warple, Greaves with another fumble. Bonner, he went without the footy, picked it back up, goes on the right boot, hits the post. Geez, they're making hard work of it here, the Hawks. Port Adelaide 9-7-61, Hawthorn 2-8-20. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Hardwick kicks it straight up the ground to McAvoy. And the skipper marks, centre-half back. Short ball to O'Meara. O'Meara spins the foot in his hand. Kicks it to the wing. Leading player up the ground is O'Brien. And the pass was good. On his chest, he turns and tries to create in an open forward line, but his wide ball to Shields is too wide. Bounced away from him out of bounds, about 60 around from the Hawks goal. Around the grounds, Ash, for Choice Hotels, of course, Carlton taking on the Dockers across town at the MCG. What's the latest?
Goal to the Blues. They're out to a 23-point lead. 10-3-63 to the Dockers, 5-10-40, halfway into the third.
Bicep and McAvoy. McAvoy with a big fist back out of bounds. Inside 50 count, Chew.
38-17, Port's way.
It's been an annihilation most of this game. Luke Bruce kicked the opening goal for the Hawks. And then it was a run of 9 straight goals for Port Adelaide until the Hawks finally got one as Warple's kick goes inside 50 and standing tall, taking a strong contested mark. It was Jared Leanett. Deep in defence for Port Adelaide. So it's just over 10 minutes left in this third quarter. Goes short and wide to Byrne-Jones. And to Jonas. Just recap Sean Burgoyne's numbers, Chew.
Sean Burgoyne.
Game 400.
Yep, Joey, he's had 7 disposals and he's taken 3 marks for Red's Head.
Just chipping it around Port at half-back. Another one comes back to Byrne-Jones, who marks on defensive 50. Goes further backwards and a cross goal to McKenzie. McKenzie now to Bonner. Bonner, short kick outside Defensive 50 to aim on. Now they can go. Long kick across the wing. Drew will mark in front of Scrimshaw. Turns and looks at his forward line. Reasonably open at the moment. It's gone out wide to Marshall.
Play on.
And he drives the ball back inside forward 50. Underneath it, Lice at back of the pack. Charlie Dixon bounced away from both of them. Deep in the back pocket for the Hawks under the pump. Warple. He's just dragged to the ground and a tackle by Dixon. The ball out of his grasp went out of bounds. Deep forward pocket for Port.
Charlie Dixon here taking a leaf out of Tomahawks. Bork taking the ruck work here. He'll try and look to grab it and knock it probably to an Ollie Wines on the wrap.
So ball thrown in, inside 50 for Port. Quick kick. Out towards Kazitsky. Well done, Lysette. Strong tackle. Important player for Port, Scotty Lysette. Been good tonight.
Ben's coming.
Hawks fans again thought that Kazitsky might have been taken high.
Give him room.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay, Daisy.
Yeah, nothing in that. The Hawks fans, they're a bit grumpy tonight.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're getting frustrated. They're taking their frustrations out on the umpires and Connor Rosie.
And as a man,
unfortunate.
And a man who got fined $7,500, you probably shouldn't do that. That's not the way to go about it, is it?
The Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Buy a mattress in store at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery with purchases over $999.
Oh.
Conditions apply.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, guys.
So the umpire to reclaim it again and another ball up. Still 70 around from Port Adelaide's goal. Drew, bottom of the pack, sees it tapped his way. Threw it onto his boot. Dixon got to the pack late. Brings it to ground level though. As Greaves just thumps it out of bounds again for the Hawks. And again, there'll be another boundary throw in. So the Hawks with their second goal. In this quarter they kicked. And they kicked their first early stages first term. 16 and a half third quarter now. A 41-point lead to Port Adelaide on the IJ Liquor scoreboard.
McAvoy having a stint in the ruck now. Wines, been busy. Tries to shovel the ball out. Drew might have been in the back. None forthcoming. Some big ball winners, Ash Stewart for Red Z Lending.
Yeah, speaking of Ollie Wines, he's had 29 disposals, throwing 8 clearances. Burn Jones with 18, and for the Hawks, 18 to Tommy Mitchell.
I think he's near the top of the leaderboard for the Triple M MVP award too. Ollie Wines, he might be getting some more votes tonight. He's leading and he might be getting some Brownlow votes as well. He's a smoky for the Brownlow. I know all the talk about Bontempelli and Clayton Oliver, but gee whiz, he's been very good, Ollie Wines, all year. And the Port Power switch the ball around to Jared Leanett, and he'll just go back into the corridor to Jonas and now to Aliir.
And Aliir does mark, as Joey said. Just wide of true centre-half back out of side of the ground. Inside his defensive 50. Port just happy to control the footy here. High kick to the outer side. Marshall's got a couple to beat. Bounces to the ground. Dixon claims it. Hand pass to Bonner. Bonner running past us, runs it along the ground. 30 metres, bounces out of bounds.
Pinged him.
And he's been pinged for deliberate. Umpire sprinted in very excitedly. And Gieth at half back will take it for the Hawks. Some of the big numbers, Ash, in this game before you go around the grounds again.
Port Adelaide there, plus 77 in disposals and 40 to 18 to the inside 50 Spaz. And for Choice Hotels, Blues by 16 points over Freo, 20 to the third.
Chance for the Hawks. Greaves as a player, top of the 50, finds him. Bramble has Phillips on short and wide. He was a bit slow to get to him. Port Adelaide did well to get numbers back in a hurry. And now Bramble, man on the mark, he's standing right on the 50-metre logo. So he's just going to pop it up to the top of the square. Where's Timmy O'Brien? He can normally take a hanger. Kazitsky flies, couldn't take the mark. Bonner did well, although he kicks it straight into Travis Boag's butt. And then a high ball goes towards Warple, who'll go around the body on the left. Can he kick another one? He does. The Hawks have got 2 in a row. And it was James Warple with the nice finish. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, Hawthorn 3-8-26, Port Adelaide 9-7-61. 19 minutes have ticked over. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Yeah, I thought young Bramble again might have just stuffed it up a little bit. He had Scrimshaw calling for the ball onto his left side. Probably would have had the shot breaking the paint from 50. Went back, composed, hit the top of the square, got a good contest. And Warple, pretty handy finish across the body. But again, some good forward 50 pressure from the Hawks. This is what we like. They're at least getting it down there, giving themselves a chance to scrap and fight at ground level. Just showing a little bit more here. Kicked a couple, which is good to see.
Triple M Cbus Super special comments. The great Dale Thomas delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Cbus is for us all. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. So we tick up to the 20-minute mark of the third term. As Joey said, the Hawks with a couple in a row. Desperately needed. Bounce is good. Lysett got a fist on it. Tracking it back was Mitchell. Tried to give the don't argue. Got dragged down in a tackle. Hand pass over the top of the pack by Greaves of the Hawks. Inside their defensive 50. They'll come out now through O'Meara. And hand pass to Bramble. And he's pushed out of bounds by Boak. So a boundary throw in. About 65 around from Port Adelaide's goal. Port well in control, 9-7, 61 to 3-8, 26 as we tick up to the 21-minute mark of the third term.
Ball thrown in, half forward line for the Power. Jai Newcomb can't get his arms free, wrapped up by Travis Boak.
Thanks, Jai.
Seems like they've been a lot better around the footy in this third quarter, Ash.
Yeah, no doubt, Daisy. +4 in clearances, +3 in contested ball, and also winning the time in the forward half at 54% to 46.
A much better quarter by the Hawks. Dylan Moore trying to get involved. Houston, strong tackle. Mitchell. Travis Boak, of course, in there as well. Game number 297 for Trav Boak tonight, so another big milestone for him. Another one of these players in the competition days. They're just getting better with age.
And 300 club, even better than the 200 club. You get the 2 tickets to the grand final every year for the rest of your life.
Instead of the 1 days.
Yeah.
200. All right.
You can take a friend.
Kick back towards the wing as a bouncing ball. Houston claims it. He got wrapped up by Bruce. Footy on the ground again. Going to work it out. Kajitsky's dragged down in a tackle. Moore's got it. Did well. Clean hands to Newcomb. A kick to half forward for the Hawks. It's an open forward line if they can control this. They get a free kick through O'Brien. He got caught high. Hand pass back to Moore. Runs and drives a long ball to full forward. No one home. Jonas stood alone. Bruce got there late. And Jonas marks it full back for Port. Hello.
Oh, the kick went over Burn Jones's head, so he dropped the mark. Motlop mops up. Has Mays in the middle. Oh, courage from Hardwick. Tough as nails, Blake Hardwick. Did well. Hawks have got the numbers. Segler to Giaf. Loves putting on the step. He got through a couple of them. Handball. Hard for Newcomb, who flicked it out wide. They do it nicely here. And now young Greaves goes low, looking for O'Meara. Got to him on the bounce. Lean it all over him. Frederick kicked his first goal in AFL football. Hawthorn's pressure's good here. So Lean it. Just forced to pump it back, but Frost will mop up. And they'll reload again, the Hawks.
Takes a bounce. Wants to take on the tackler. Shrugged off the tackler. Threw it under the left boot. Just a scrubby bouncing ball. Rosie grabs it defensive side of the wing. He got legged. And he'll get a free kick for Port. Goes short and finds Burton. Burton stands alone. Called to play on. Burgoyne comes at him. Delivers a ball that's a turnover. Straight onto the chest of Newcomb, who marks in the centre for the Hawks.
This is better by Hawthorn. Bramble tucks it under the arm, goes through the centre circle, wide ball. Hawks have got a 2v1 inside 50. Will it sit for Bruce? We know he's creative. He puts the burners on, gets around Jonas, screws it around the body. The Hawks have got 3 in a row. And Brewster's got his second. And they're just slowly pegging the margin back to the Hawks.
Oh, hello.
It's back within 29 points. Triple M IJ League scoreboard 4-8-32. Port Adelaide 9-7-61. It's been a good turn by the Hawks, Daisy.
Yeah, it has, and again, just on the back of it, being able to put some pressure on, getting some good forward half turnovers, getting a little bit of field position on the back of that as well. Liking what we're seeing there. And just as you called so beautifully, they actually, once they got through, they're looking to go the open side out of that corridor, which is good because we know how well Jonas sets up behind the ball. And Bruce, he is a dead set star, isn't he? He's very crafty, very creative, always makes the most of his opportunities. Just backed himself there. Know he had on the Harvey Norman replay. Know he had Jonas for pace, turned him inside out. Quickly had to jag it before Burn Jones jumped on his boot, kicked the goal, and the boys got well and truly around him. And the Hawks fans, I think they're starting to believe.
Bob Jane T-Marts, McGee.
Yeah, Al Clarkson. I met him in the stairwell, Baz. He wasn't happy. Obviously, he's given him such a rev up at half-time. But this is all about Sean Burgoyne. His 400th game. They want to win this, the Hawks.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Hawks out of the centre again. Long, high ball, wide to half forward. Warple works his way up from the bottom of the pack. Hand pass to Shields, got tackled. Hand pass went to Lysett. The big ruckman was strong in the contest. Got it to Boak. Hand pass to Wines. A kick is high, but it was rushed. He just rushed it onto the boot. And Segler was waiting defensive side of the centre.
Greaves slipped over. Geez, he's had some moments, young Greaves. Put Giath under all sorts of pressure. Has to go and get it. Greaves goes back and gets it again. Did well. Got it to Segler. Giath And here they go again, the Hawks. Connor Nash, clever little kick. Warple back to GF, runs on, gets to 60. Can he find a mark inside 50? O'Meara couldn't quite. It's going to spoil. McAvoy gives it to Shields, around the body, top of the square. Tim O'Brien lets it bounce and goes out of bounds. They are pressing here, Hawthorn. 3 minutes 7 left on the clock in the third term. There was as much as 46 points to start this quarter. It's back within 29 and they're pressing again.
Boundary throw in. We've got about 12 players underneath it. 10 around from the Hawks' goal. Heavy tackle laid by Bonner. And the umpire will ball it up. Now 20 out from Hawthorn's goal. Virtually directly in front of their goal mouth at the locket end of the ground. Tapped down the ground level. Bruce had it, then lost it. Picked up by O'Meara. Can't break the tackle of Burton. Goes to ground and he's going to be pinged. Tried to break the tackle. And the free kick will go to Burn Jones. Let's go around the grounds, Ash, for Choice Hotels at the MCG where the Blues are tackling the Dockers.
28 into the third quarter. Blues by 2 points over the Dockers.
Oh, come on, the Blues.
Kick from Burn Jones, long down the line. Bruce front and square. Handball to Hardwick. Pops it over. Warple with courage. Did terrific. Couldn't take the mark, but got it to ground level. The handball from Moore. Back to Warple. Will he get a free kick? High contact. No, it goes out of bounds.
Fantastic courage. Absolutely fantastic courage. It was one of those ones you didn't know if he was going to go, if you wanted to look or not. He was open. He was exposed. Fully committed, both players. Well done. Fantastic contest.
Can they get the next one, the Hawks? Bring it back to 23 points. So we close in on three-quarter time. The Port Adelaide under pressure here. Hawthorn have got their tails up. Greaves hand pass out of the pack to O'Brien. Wrapped up in a tackle. Nash punts it towards Bruce. Kick smothered from 15 metres out. Bounces to the boundary line again and goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in left forward pocket Hawthorn. Another opportunity presents. 29 points the margin.
Last 10 minutes, Baz, pressure off the charts, Ash. 230.
Unbelievable. Spot on for Red Z.
Boundary throw in 20 around. McAvoy trying to tap it into the path of O'Meara, who's already kicked a career-high 3 behinds today. Couldn't pick that one up. We'll have another stoppage.
Joey, just some of the youngsters. Newcomb, 11 disposals, but he's laid 6 tackles, 22 pressure acts, the most on the ground.
He started this quarter in the centre bounce. He wanted a bit more grunt. Clarko got the youngster in there, and he's certainly done that. He's at the bottom of this pack. So Shields, although Port Adelaide will win the footy. Boak, high ball. GF gave away a free kick on Mays. Hawks crowd not liking the umpires tonight. I reckon they've been pretty good though, the umps. And the kick goes short and wide to Dan Houston.
Defensive side of the wing, right in front of Robbo down there, who's the best in the business for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free. And instant cashbacks, bobjane.com.au. Third quarter, the game is heated up here at Marvel Stadium. The kick to the wing and Hawthorn have got another chance. Segler marks. 1 minute 10 left on the clock for the third term. 29 points is Port Adelaide's margin. The big ruckman called to play on. Goes onto the right boot. Kicks it to about 55 from home. Off hands. Spills to the big man Lysett. Punched out a hand pass to Wines. His kick's gone out in the full. Just gone off their tucker a little bit, Port Adelaide.
That's the pressure. It's a pressure again, Baz. Getting it. They're starting to feel it.
Can the Hawks transition and go coast to coast? They've got 45 seconds and it's with Bramble, who's had a good game and he's had a good quarter. He goes wide to Scrimshaw. It's a nice kick too. Just forward of the wing. Mitchell's worked hard to get across the other side of the ground. 33 seconds to go. So Mitchell wheels and kicks it into about 30 out. Big boy McAvoy. Lysett with a massive fist. Goes straight up in the air. Bergman with composure did it well. Got it to Rosie. There's the booze. And it might come back because Hawks have got the outnumber, although the ball sits beautifully for Motlop, who's happy to kick it back and find Ollie Wines, and that'll see us out, you would think, for this third quarter, where Port Adelaide got the opening goal through Georgiades. It got out to as much as 46 points, and then 3 unanswered goals for Hawthorn. They lifted their intensity, and they've just given their fans a flicker of hope that they can do something special for Shawnee Burgoyne in game 400 at three-quarter time here at Marvel Stadium. It's Hawthorn 4-8-32, Port Adelaide 9-7-61. They lead by 29 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal.
Triple M's No Talk Day.
I'm a little bit off today, a little bit off today.
If you took the courageous step of starting a mental health conversation with someone you care about, we want to say thank you. Thank you from someone's dad, from someone's best mate. Thank you from someone's brother. You may never know it, but it might have been the most important conversation you ever have. Triple M, starting the conversation about mental health. Proudly supported by Beyond Blue.
G'day guys, Billy here. Can you believe Macca's have now been in Australia for 50 years? That's 50 years of post-match Macca's feeds. Where I grew up, in Jerilderie, we didn't have a Macca's. In fact, Jerilderie still doesn't have a Macca's. But I love playing other teams in the Murray League, like Deniliquin or Cobram, because those guys had a Macca's. 50 years of post-match Macca's. Now that's worth celebrating.
Hi, I'm Joey from Verve Electrical. We've just taken delivery of our Renault Traffic Auto. We love how the vehicle looks with our signage design, and we enjoy doing class-leading electrical work out of a class-leading vehicle. The two side doors and the rear barn door allows us to get easy access to our tools and equipment. There's heaps of room in the cab. It's built for business, easy to drive and versatile. I love the van so much, we're getting another one.
Renault Traffic, now available with a 5-year easy life ownership.
It's my business, it's my van.
Every day, more and more Aussies are finding creative ways to add power pollen to their lives. So I asked the question, how do you power pollen?
I put 2 on my cereal every day.
I sprinkle them on toast, so yum.
In a smoothie with a banana.
Power up with Power Pollen. Get your 6-month supply now. That's 400 capsules for just $129.95 plus delivery, and receive a bonus pack of hot menthol lozenges. How do you power pollen? powerpollen.com.au.
We all love a win-win, but have you ever enjoyed a win-win-win situation? With Optus Prepaid, you can. Recharge $40 or more on new or existing Optus Prepaid plans and you get a choice of 3 instant rewards. Plus, double the data on selected plans. And you go in the weekly draw to win a massive $10,000 cash. Recharge today and win-win-win. Great value starts with yes. See our website for details. Ends 18 July 2021.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. At National Tiles, we continue to permanently reduce our prices on Australia's most popular wall and floor tiles, like Stone Code, which we've crunched down to just $19.95 per metre every day of the year. You heard right. These ever-popular large format stone floor tiles down to $19.95 every day of the year. But only, yes, only at National Tiles.
Do you wake up with back pain? An Acosa mattress can help. Engineered to support your spine's natural alignment, your Acosa mattress allows you to relax into restorative sleep and wake up feeling pain-free and refreshed. At Acosa, we've got your back. Try it for yourself with free returns within 100 days. Shop now at acosa.com.au. Acosa. Sleep but better.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
Oh, Port Adelaide led by 48 points, 4 minutes into the third quarter, and the Hawks went bang, bang, bang. They kicked 3 goals. It's back to 29 points at three-quarter time. Port Adelaide 9-7-61. Hawthorn 4-8-32. The great Lee Montagna here tonight is the captain of the ship, calling the action. We've got Daisy Thomas and this man, the two man with the Triple M Reds and leading stats. Ash, what's going on? Is the game starting to sort of swing around a little bit?
Well, Baz, Hawks had the last 6 entries inside 50 and their pressure rating was off the charts. 209 in the last 10 minutes of play during that third quarter. The league average is 180, and they also won the centre clearances. As Daisy mentioned, they got hammered in the first half. It was 8-zip, and that quarter was 4-1 Hawthorn's way.
What about around the grounds, Ash? What's happening at the MCG? Carlton are taking on the Dockers.
It's a tight affair, Baz. Scores are all tied up. Three-quarter time, Freo 8-15-63, Blues 10-3-63.
I appreciate you letting us know. Days, what are we witnessing out here at the moment?
Well, it was just the Hawthorn pressure and effort that got them back into that one. That wasn't there in that second quarter. We spoke about it in the first quarter. That's what was keeping them in it, although they lost a lot of field position, a lot of inside 50s. Their effort and want around the ball just kept them competitive, weren't able to do it in the second quarter. Definitely got a response, did Alistair Clarkson in that third quarter then, and a big last quarter. You can see on the Harvey Norman replay, Al Clarkson in there addressing him, pointing at Shawnee Burgoyne, saying, boys, come on, if you're ever going to lift for this man in his 400th.
All right, let's go down to you, Robbo. Bob Jane T-Marts, as I see a young Port Adelaide player on crutches.
It sure is. Kane Farrell coming off, unfortunately. It's the right knee, and he did it early in the game, so he's been subbed out, unfortunately, and obviously we'll go off to hospital, have that scan, but fingers crossed it's not an ACL. Yeah, I watched Del Clarkson. You know, like, this is all about Shorten Burgoyne. He is so humble, the Silk. He doesn't want it all about him, but I tell you what, the coach actually grabbed him, as Daisy said, and said, right, this is it. The intensity's got to follow in this last quarter. Let's G up for Silk.
That's Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane T-Marts. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free and instant cashbacks. bobjane.com.au. Ask your plumber to install a ream steady, hot and strong for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Here's the great lead, Joey Montagna, to kick us off in the final term with Port Adelaide leading by 29 points.
Well, have the Hawks got something left for Shawnee Burgoyne? For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, they do. They win the first centre clearance. And Tom Mitchell with a big right foot torp. You don't see that too often. Bruce wanted the free kick. He might have been held. The umpire wouldn't pay it. Jonas wobbles a ball. Powell, Pepper, and now Amon. Good pressure from Shields. Affected the kick. And Segler will see that ball go out of bounds just in front of us here. Broadcast side, Marvel Stadium. Hawks kicking to the Coventry end, the right of the broadcast. Trailing by 29 points. O'Meara, Warple, Mitchell, all on ball for the Hawks. Neither ruckman could touch the footy. Houston's kick smothered. Connor Nash, can he pick it up cleanly? He does, and he kicks that Irish sort of style ball. What a fly from O'Brien. He's already taken one contender for mark of the year, couldn't bring that one down. And the kick out from Port Adelaide goes towards both ruckmen. Hawks have got numbers, good pressure, Lysett. And then Warple did well to wrap up, lean it. Just taking a look at the Harvey Norman replay.
Wow.
Timmy O'Brien, full of confidence. Could have got the free kick for the arm chop. Not paid. And we'll have it thrown up 70 round from the Hawks' goal.
Down at ground level, Mitchell tries to push it to Shields. He's shoved off the kick. Diving on top of the ball was Mays, and the umpire will ball it up again. Still on the wing, broadcast side of the ground. A little bit of a fight for the footy at the moment. The Hawks with their tails up, they've kicked the last 3 goals. A lot of work to do on the scoreboard though. They need early goals. Amon out of the pack, kick to the wing. Giath, a big clash nearly with Rosie. Ball spills to ground level. There's Silk. Burgoyne picks it up. He's missed the target. Segler with a kick though. And straight into the arms of Houston, who marks for Port at halfback.
Short to Amon. That nice left boot goes long down the line in the Charlie Dixon direction. Well done, Giath, stood in front. So Dixon did well just to bring it to ground. Kick inside 50. Hawks have got the numbers. Howe from the wing. Floated across. Supported Hardigan and took the nice mark on the chest. And they'll build it up from half back, the Hawks.
Kicked across to Giath, who's called the play on. Drives the ball just forward of the wing here. Kajitsky shoved underneath it by McKenzie, who claims the footy for Port. Hand pass to Leonard, another hand pass to Amon. Will he break the tackle? Nash, he does. Sprints away. Long ball for Port, inside forward 50. Rosie got there late. Big leap. Hardwick stood his ground. Claimed the footy. Kicked out the young Bramble, defensive side of the wing. Drives it 30 metres across to Segler. Segler will mark, they can go here. Hand pass to Phillips. Phillips inside forward 50. Trotting back with a fly to the footy was bruised. 2-on-1 against him, and Aaliyah behind him claims the footy for Port.
That was really well done by Burton to get the hand in. Former teammate of Bruce, of course. He was in the box seat. Luke Bruce just couldn't quite manoeuvre the body to take the mark, and Port lift a fly the other day. Although there's been a block There was a nice mark by GF, but the umpire said it was an illegal block from Sam Frost. Harvey Norman replay, it looked like it was there.
Yeah, it was there. He was trying to project GF as he was coming across on sort of that hook and J jump that he has, but gave away the free kick in doing so.
Long towards Georgiades. Rosie stayed down. O'Meara's got to be careful here because Porter's swarming. Bonner wrapped up in a strong tackle from O'Meara. 20 out from the Port Adelaide goal. Neither side yet to score in the first 4 minutes of this final term. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. If you need a break, book direct and save with choicehotels.com.
Spot on, Joey. Not a true word spoken. Dangerous period here now for Hawthorn. 20 from Port's goal. O'Meara, bottom of the pack, claimed it though. Kicked it back out to the defensive 50. Lycett behind the pack. Buried his head into Phillips. Phillips did well. Brought the ball to ground. Spills out towards his teammate in Shields. Kick was smothered. Shields goes again. Mitchell burrows himself under the pack and pushed it out of bounds. About 60 around now from Port Adelaide's goal. 9-7-61 Port. 4-8-32 Hawthorn. That was the score at three-quarter time. That hasn't changed. 4.5 final term.
Just watching Scotty Lycett get up very ginger down there. Robbo, keep your eye on that one, please, for Bob JT Martin. Robbo.
Yeah, he's a very important player, Lycett. He's had a good game, Chew. Red Z Lending. He's been everywhere. His pressure's been good.
Yeah, his pressure's been very good. He's laid 6 tackles, Lycett, and also dominating the hit-outs, 27 to Segler's 15.
Where do you rank him, Daisy? Scotty Lycett, for the importance at this Port Adelaide side. If they're to win a premiership, is he their most important?
He would near on be, because the service he's giving that midfield at the minute has been fantastic, and his follow-up work at the minute as well, his ability to compete, a bit like Brodie Grundy when he was at his best, he's sort of almost becoming to that mould.
And a bit like what we've seen with Shane Mumford at the GWS Giants, when they play, they just make everyone stand taller.
A bit of a barometer.
Yep.
In the true sense, not the Brisbane man sense.
Yep. Fair call. Boundary throw-in. Port again, just forward to the wing broadcast side. Lycett brings it to ground. Drew can't trap it. Nash did. Little hand pass Shields. Shields rush kick out of the pack. Kazicki strong. In front of McKenzie, took the mark. He's on the wing. It's an open forward line. They start sprinting down there. He looks to the corridor. He's got his teammate in Shields. He runs away. He grabs it. Hand pass over the top. Opportunity to break a tackle. Phillips. Hand pass back to Bramble. May's got in the way for Port at halfback. Hand pass Burn-Jones. Hand pass Motlop. Hand pass to Wines. They're out of trouble here. Kick now back towards the wing. Underneath it, Lycett. The ruckman's got to go. He worked him under the footy. Frost. Charlie Dixon was there though. Got in front of Frost. Forward 50 for Port Adelaide. Frost did well, but his kick is dragged down. Went straight to Mays. Open goal square. Kicks from 60. Bouncing across the face. And through for a point. They're back out to a 30-point lead. Port Adelaide. 6.5 final term. Triple M Joyce Hotel scoreboard.
Been a good contest between Sam Frost and Charlie Dixon. Daisy, have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Frosty's had his moments, as he always does. A couple of frost balls that have come out of that back line, but Charlie Dixon's competed well. Hasn't clunked a whole lot, but brought the smalls into the game.
Triple M Seabus super special comments. Dale Thomas delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for all of us as the Hawks get another opportunity to press and go inside 50. There's a one-on-one with Bruce and Burton. The kick will bounce in front of Bruce. It'll make it hard for him. He tried to be clever, tunnel balled it through his legs, but he fell over. Burton kept his feet, and he picks it up, and he'll go towards a 1v1. Motlop and GF. GF clever. Got it to Mitchell, who wanted the 1-2 off Howe. Howe didn't give it back. He kicked it instead. Top of the square, Aliir with the fly. And there's been a free kick paid off the ball. It's going to go the way of Port Adelaide anyway. It was against Connor Nash.
Come back round, Dust.
It's going to go to Burn-Jones.
Yeah, just having a look at that one on the Harvey Norman replay. Just sort of clobbered him high. No real need for it, but just did it anyway. Free kick was definitely there.
So Burn-Jones out of the back pocket. Long kick to the outer side. Hugs the boundary line. Punched out of bounds. Well, the Hawks lock it in their forward half. 65 around from their goal. We're 7.5 minutes now into the final term. Time ticking away. After the Hawks have kicked the last 3 goals of the match, all in that third quarter. And neither side have scored a major in the final so far. Segler in front, tapped the ground level to Nash. Nash can't control the footy, so they pile in on top of him, and the umpire again to ball it up. Still 65 out. from the Hawthorn goal. Let's go around the grounds, Ash. What's happening at the MCG?
Scores are level between Freo and the Blues.
Hello.
8 minutes into the final quarter.
Who's going to win that, Chu?
I'm going for the Blues.
Good man, Chu.
Kick from Bonner towards a 1v1. There is Frost and Dixon again. Another good battle. Been a great contest. And probably an even battle. The amount of ball that's gone in there for Port Adelaide. He's done pretty well, Frost. And then Giath gives away another free kick and he's not happy. It's been that sort of night for the Hawks.
Houston's got a mismatch too, Joey, top of the square.
It's Shields. Couldn't kick it that far, Motlop. Instead goes to the pocket towards Rosie and Hardwick. And it gets to the back. Bramble. I've liked his game tonight. Looks like a player. And the kick from Hardwick goes along the boundary line. Kazitsky in front of McKenzie. And the ball will go out of bounds. Port lead this one by an even 5 goals. And we've got tick over 13 minutes left in this one. Choice Hotel scoreboard.
What's the time clock of that game at the MCG, Ash, with scores level between Carlton and also the Dockers?
13 and a half minutes remaining, and it's still level, 64 points apiece.
Keep an eye on that. Boak out of the pack, kicks Port Adelaide inside forward 50 here. Leading by 5 goals. You'd think they're safe, but Hawthorn still desperately trying to just create here. Hand pass Phillips to Burgoyne. Another hand pass across to his teammate in Hardigan, and now a short kick to the wing is okay. Now Brian marks and kicks it out in the full.
See, just in that passage of play there, Luke Bruce playing on Burton, as you said, ex-teammates. Burton knows him so well, so just gave him a really big shove, took the dangerous space where he would have loved to have hit up in, and Bruce just gave up on the lead.
Burn-Jones brings it back in for Port and kicks long towards half-forward.
Wines had an enormous night. Handballed out to Bergman, who kicked a couple of goals in that second term. He's wrapped up. Ollie Wines' numbers, Chu, for Red Z Lending.
35 disposals. His PB is, make that 36, his PB is 43.
I like the Bergman too. He's going very well.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. Ash Chua.
Yes.
As always, dominating for Triple M. Year, what is it, year 20, Chu?
Year 20 for Red Z.
Yeah. We'll give you the Guard of Honour later in the year.
Oh, I eagerly await that, Joey. Looking forward to it.
And the others are so envious, aren't they? They just look at him all night.
Are you coming to the stats party this year, Baz? Where do we go to? What's it?
Lake Boga Caravan Park.
Beautiful.
It's nice too.
BYO.
Very nice. Very nice. BYO. Oh, maybe I got something on. Boundary throw in. Warple, bottom of the pack. Shoves out a hand pass to Kazitsky. And he's tackled by McKenzie and thrown into the fence. And a few players come in, not real keen. And no, everything separates. Everyone's happy.
Not a great caravan park when you've got to bring your own caravan.
No, it's just a bit, probably something on that.
It's all about the company.
No, it is,
Daisy.
Ash.
And
Absolutely.
conversation,
And
let me tell you about that.
Yeah, you are very good company. 30 points up. Port Adelaide, 11 minutes final term. No disrespect to your mates, though. The ball spills down to ground level to Amon. Amon to Powell. Pepper will be pushed out of bounds again, and another boundary throw-in will take place. About 70 around from Hawthorn's goal, Joey.
So no goals kicked in this final term, Baz. We've played 11 and a half minutes. Port Adelaide still lead by an even 5 goals. Lysette been very good. Warple tried hard, kicks it off the ground. This time McKenzie was in front of Kazitsky. Umpire said touch play on, so McKenzie under pressure. Kicked it only as far as Howe, who kicked an excellent goal in that third term to get the Hawks going. And that's a beautiful kick too, wide. And finds Connor Nash, who takes a mark just inside the boundary line, 45 metres out. Has he got the ability to kick it from here, Connor Nash? Getting a lot of blank looks in the box here, Daisy.
Haven't seen a whole lot of him. We've got a Hawks supporter up the back. Does he kick it? That was a flat no, John.
There's not a lot of confidence in this commentary box for Connor Nash.
I'll back him in then. Come on, son.
He's going to kick it from the junction of the 50-metre line and the boundary line. He goes to the top of the square instead. He knows his limitations. And Riley Bonner sees that one through for a behind. So 4-9 to 9-8, 29-point margin. Back to what it was at three-quarter time. With just over 11 minutes to go. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Game at the MCG. True, there's been a goal.
Goal to Eddie Betts, Joey. So it's the Blues by 6 points over the Dockers, 12 into the final term.
Kick out wide, line it, and the mark taken by Alia. And Alia plays on from half-back, goes long to the wing out of sight. Hardigan with a big fist on it for the Hawks down to ground level. Burgoyne Won't get there before the ball goes out of bounds. So a 29-point lead for Port Adelaide. Doing it nice in the final term, just turning it into an arm wrestle. So the Hawks, with all the work to do, just can't find an avenue to goal. 13 minutes into it, and a boundary throw-in on the wing.
Nash out of mid-air. Oh, another big fly. Kazitsky couldn't bring the ball down to ground. Lean it. Take it out of bounds. We've got crowd numbers yet, Chu? What do you think the crowd here was tonight for Shawnee Burgoyne's game 400?
No, not as yet, but I reckon probably just under 20,000, Joey. Remember, the capacity is 25.
You see the Hawks have sent numbers up to the stoppage off the back, so look for them to feed back and try and chain out.
Holding, Hawthorn. Some Bronx cheers from the umpires, from the fans, towards the umpires because a free kick's been paid to big boy McAvoy. And he's just going to poke it to the top of the square. Kazitsky in the front spot, took a good mark. That time the three-quarter kick worked because it was to the advantage of Kazitsky. He had to run and jump at it, took a nice mark, and he'll go back from about 25 metres out on a 60-degree angle.
Yeah, sometimes there's just those couple of pockets of space either side of the hot spot or the traditional hot spot, and that's where the kick was put to his advantage. It was either going to be a mark or a free kick as Burton just grabbing some arm on the way through in that marking contest.
Jacob Kazitsky. From 30 out, tight angle, he's got it. Well done, young man. And the Hawks are just hanging around, just enough. They're 5-9-39, North Melbourne. Port Adelaide 9-8-62. And we've got just under 10 minutes left in this one. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Well, they've been very good, as Chu said, at the centre clearances after getting a touch-up in that first half. Now this is a very important one. They've gone with O'Meara, they've gone with Newcomb, and Mitchell has just come on for the Warpedo. Looks like Howe is... Oh, no, he's gone out to the wing. Don't worry about that. I thought he was going to go into the ruck, which was going to be an interesting decision. Don't worry about that. Big boy McAvoy will be taking the ruck.
The big fella. Triple M Harvey Norman replay there. Saw Sean Burgoyne running to the bench, and he was sent back out there. Buy a mattress in store at Harvey Norman to get bonus local delivery with purchases over $999, but conditions, of course, apply. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy bounce is real wide and sort of bounced right away from the umpire and outside the circle. He'll come back in and everyone will reset. He'll ball it up. Hawks now. And they get a second quick goal. Newcomb tries to burst through the pack, leaves the ball behind. Bottom of the pack working out Mitchell. Boat got in the way, pushed it out to Mays. Bursts through 3 or 4 Hawks and he's dragged off the footy. Powell Pepper follows the bouncing ball. It's inside forward 50 now for Port Adelaide. Georgiadis, quick pick up, hand pass to Mays. Long ball to full forward. Dixon floats back, it goes over the pack. And Howe somehow kept it in between the goal and point post, but then he kicked it out in the full. And Bonner will have a shot for goal on the boundary line, 45 out.
Just should have taken it over, Baz. Relieved the pressure, then had the whole time to just get his ball, go back, assess the game and go at it again. But he had one option because he was hemmed in on the boundary line. He put in a row 4.
23 points, Port Adelaide's lead before this kick from Bonner. He doesn't go for goal. He squares it up to the hot spot. Massive pack. Nobody marks. Wines' kick is smothered. Still in dispute. 20 from Port's goal. Huge pack around the footy. Spills to Newcomb. Can't track it. Big Charlie goes in. Dixon punts it out to Mays. Has a flying shot from 15 and misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. Still 23 points Port Adelaide's way. Scrimshaw's got it. Round the grounds, Ash.
Under 8 minutes remaining. It's the Blues by 7 points over Fremantle.
Hawks go wide. Greaves. Umpire said
he ran it out of bounds.
It was touched off hands. Greaves thought it was a mark. Ran out of bounds.
Well, if they win it from here, Joey, in terms of this stoppage, they've got to start looking corridor. They're going wide still. They can go for the switch to get it open side, but from there they've got to play. They're going to have to start to play fast, try and catch the defence of Port off guard.
Yeah, Port Adelaide got the extra defender here, but they win the clearance anyway. Wines got it to Carl Amon. Shot from 50. Dixon will read it best across the face of goal. Not much Frosty could do about that one. the big key forward, kept his eye on the ball.
Here, please. Keep coming. 4
He's
metres.
taken the mark.
4 metres. Keep coming. Back to him now. It's 50. Keep coming.
That's it, Charlie. You can hear the umpire yelling at Cole Hartigan to come back 10 metres because Charlie Dixon's going to run around and snap it. Tight angle. Just has to think his way through it. Take his 30 seconds. And he gets it. He's got the goal, Charlie Dixon. And they get the answer they needed. Port Adelaide's first goal of this last term. Charlie Dixon gets his third.
Big Chaz.
And Port Adelaide go to 10-8-68. Hawthorn 5-9-39. 19 minutes played, final term. Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, well, that one sort of sucked the air out of this a little bit just when we thought the Hawks might have been able to mount some sort of a comeback. They've just got it from the stoppage there, have the Port Adelaide football. Long ball in. Chaz Dixon kicked to advantage. I'm not sure if Eamon was having a ping or not, knowing him and how he goes about his footy. I'd probably reckon it's a safe bet to say he was having a shot for goal. But Chaz, too big, too strong. Now for the Hawks, 8 minutes, what can they do? It's all going to be make or break. I guess, Baz, they're going to have to go through the corridor, try and play on, and when you do that, it's high risk, high reward. So if Port Adelaide get a couple of easy ones, don't be too surprised here.
Triple M Bus Super Special comments, Dale Thomas. Love your family, look after your mates. You're listening to him because he's quality. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Bounce, the ruckman tap it to their toes. Howe came off the wing, couldn't trap it. Kicked off the ground though, Hawthorn's way. Phillips off half forward. Grabbed it, tackled, lost it. Holding free kick to Phillips. He released the footy, he was held onto and he's got a free. Bronx cheers from the Hawks fans. Low drop punt towards forward 50. Didn't mark it, was Newcomb, but he goes back onto the footy, punts it inside forward 50. Rosie picks it up for Port Adelaide. Hand pass to Aaliyah. Rush kick back to the wing and Hardwick marks for the Hawks. Quick score update, Ash, from the MCG.
Baz, we've got the Blues leading the Dockers by 7 points, 20 minutes into the final quarter.
Everyone back inside the defensive 50 for Port Adelaide, so Hardwick's forced to kick it to a huge pack. Kaczynski flew, Dylan Moore, who's been quiet, wobbles the ball towards Warple. He wanted to go for goal, gave it to O'Brien, who strolls in from the goal line and gets another one. He gets his first. The Hawks get another quick one. And on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, they go 6-9-45. They get it back to within 4 goals. Port Adelaide 10-8-68. And there's still time, Daisy, just over 7 minutes left.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left on the game clock. It's just seemed like Port Adelaide have just been in control for long enough in this quarter. Just done well to knock a fair bit of time off the game clock without either team really scoring. But as I said, Hawthorn, they're going to be forced to play fast. They're going to have to take some risks. Obviously, in doing that, you have the opportunity to score quickly yourself, but you can also open yourself up the other way. Hopefully, they can get another good centre bounce clearance here for the Hawks fans, for Shawnee Burgoyne, and get another quick one. And just see if Port Adelaide start to panic a little bit.
Those clearances in the second half, it's 19-12 Hawthorn's way, 5 to Mitchell and 4 to Warple.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Ashley Chew all over the Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Bounces good, lifes it down the Boak, was fantastic. Nice palm ruck work. Kicks it now towards half forward. Bergman and Scrimshaw in a one-on-one. Bergman did well, hang on to Scrimshaw. One of the free, the umpire said get on with it. And the ball spilled away from both players. It'll be a boundary throw in about 65 around from Port's goal. Their leader's 23 points. We're 21 and a half into the final term. And there's just under 7 minutes of game time left here at Marvel Stadium. Boundary throw in. Ball spills to the back. GF's got it. Punched it out towards Mitchell. Then to Scrimshaw. By hand, Hawthorn go again. Got it to Greaves. Got a shove in the back. He'll get a free kick. Young Greaves at half-back for the Hawks has the footy. What can they mount from here?
Still 6.5 minutes left on the game clock. Goes long down the line. Segler in front, takes the mark. Got to move it quick. Phillips is getting into position inside 50. Segler doesn't give the handball. He goes himself. Phillips in a one-on-one. Not in this position too often. Dropped the chest mark. Dylan Moore got boot the ball. Did just enough. But Port Adelaide get numbers back. Burton, lean it. Throws it on the boot. And it's going to come back because it goes out on the full. And it's going to be Tom Mitchell who will take the kick.
Well, Kaczynski's at the top of the square, unopposed as well, boys.
Mitchell, high ball in, massive pack. Kaczynski comes out, nearly not quite, hands on the footy. 20 from the Hawks goal. Massive pack around it. Ball still in dispute. Punched out the side to Lysett. He kicks a barrel back towards the centre of the ground. It wasn't marked by Dixon. Allowed GF in behind him. Hand pass to Frost. Back to GF for the Hawks. Runs around. Runs forward to the wing. Long ball back to full forward again. In front Kajitsky. He had two crawling all over him and he's taken the mark. 25 out, slight angle. And a big opportunity for the Hawk comes here, Days.
It certainly does, and just Port Adelaide really poor to reset their defensive 50. Called it just moments ago. Unopposed at the top of the square. He had a good look at it then. The ball went out. Still no one went near him. And in there, just a really good pack mark. Must-kick goal for the Hawks.
Just kicked his first. We've still got 5 minutes on the clock. Kajitsky steps up. 23-point lead to Port Adelaide, reduced only to 22. He's pushed it left. 22 points the lead for Port. 24 final term. Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
Gee whiz, you could see the nerves as he was walking in. It was a stuttering, lacking momentum sort of kick, and it came off that way. Disappointing because the Hawks are pressing really hard here. 22 points, still 5 minutes to go. Port Adelaide just need a steady. They go towards Georgiades, and the smaller Hardwick did well and gets the ball out of bounds. Choice Hotels around the grounds though. Carlton at the MCG, Chew.
Goal to Eddie Betts. So 2.5 minutes remaining. It's the Blues by 14 points over Freo.
Calling it, Ash.
I am, Baz.
Boundary throw in. Half forward for Port here. Howe's got it at half back. GF's got it. Receives it by hand. What's happening, Ash?
Sam Walsh actually kicked the major. Apologies for the error.
That's all right. It's rare. Someone get that on record. Marshall's never made a mistake. Marshall's got it at half forward here. Hand pass to Motlop. Hand pass. Powell Pepper. Hand pass to Georgiades. Hand pass to Big Charlie Dixon. Slams it into the goals at the lock it in. The big fella's got 4. And Port Adelaide well and truly home. 11-8-74. Hawthorn 6-10-46. Just over 4 minutes left on the clock. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Well, I think that is probably the one that we can almost call it. Unfortunately, the Hawks, they've been gallant. What's that now? 4 and a bit goals with 4 and a bit on the time clock. According to Lee Matthews, there's still a mathematical chance. You know his great equation. And you know who else loves that, Joey? My mum loves that when she's watching the footy. She references it every time. She's not a great pundit of the game, but she just enjoys that as a fact. So
you're saying the Hawks can still win this?
Well, they can. There's still time on the game clock, so yes, but it's going to be mighty tough. But I would think that has just about done it for Port Adelaide. Just them as a footy club, though. They're 5th on the ladder at the minute, a must-win game. Obviously, the Hawks getting up. They still haven't really got a scalp, have they? Do you see them just sort of being thereabouts, limping into the 8 and making a run at it, or do you think they can start to fire come pointy into the season?
They're a hard one to gauge, aren't they, Shua? I mean, I think they're just a slight run behind the top 4 teams, but we haven't seen enough yet to actually be definitive with it, because they do what they need to keep doing, and they'll be equal in the top 4 after tonight, because they lead this one by 28 points as the Hawks win the clearance from McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Well done by Houston. Tapped it to himself and then comes into the corridor, although the kick will be picked off by Scrimshaw, who needs to wheel and go. Phillips will run past and he'll just kick a wobbler inside 50. Kaczynski again in front, couldn't take the mark. Burgoyne, did he get a goal in game 400? Do it for the fans, he couldn't bring it back enough. He probably had the handball onto Tom Mitchell, but we're going to excuse him.
It's a damn good point anyway.
He had the right to have a shot. And Shawnee Burgoyne's been pushed forward just to try and give the fans something. He apologised to Tom Mitchell afterwards, but nobody's going to hold it against him. He kicked one behind.
Thank you.
Isolating one out, Baz.
Yeah.
Just for the last 3 minutes.
Why not? 27 points, Port Adelaide's lead. 3.5 minutes left of the match. Long kick outside defensive 50. Again to a big pack. Off hands O'Meara, dragged down in the tackle. The ball held to him by Mays. The umpire will ball it up.
Just a triple in red Z. So, Joey, Port's record against the top 8 teams coming into this round, 2 wins and 4 losses. They haven't beaten a team inside the top 4 this year.
Winds out of the pack, bangs it 50 metres across the wing for Port. Hardigan stands alone at halfback with his mate Frost. Frost a rush kick, just tried to get it to O'Meara on the wing, and Boak read that very, very well and went to his knees and took the mark. Travis Boak tonight, Ash, how's he gone?
21 touches, a little bit down, averaging 28 this year.
The 2:50 left on the clock. 27-point lead to Port Adelaide. It was as much as 48 points early in the third quarter. Spirited fight back by the Hawks. They've kicked 5 of the last 7 goals.
Scott, you're up.
But 2 goals in this last quarter to Charlie Dixon just kept them at bay. His numbers, Red Z lending to. Charlie Dixon's night, please.
Charlie Dixon, along with those 4 majors, 13 disposals. He's taken a couple of marks and laid 4 tackles as well.
Touched.
Solid night without dominating the contest. Been a good battle with him and Frost. They've had plenty of ball though, Port Adelaide. This man probably best on ground again. Ollie Wines goes inside 50 and there's a free kick paid. And it's going to be Charlie Dixon, a chance for number 5.
Back here, please, Sam.
So we'll just take a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. It was either Frost or Hardigan that gave the free kick away. Grabbing that arm that Charlie Dixon puts out. It was Frost.
Frost again.
Not a lot in that.
It's tough being a defender in this day and age, isn't it, Joey, when they're just so red hot onto that. Charlie Dixon trying to use his strength to fend off before the ball and protect the drop space.
So for goal number 5, he misses across the face.
The inside 50 count to Port, please, Ash.
It's 51-38.
So considering how much ball's come in, Frost has been, he's done an all right job.
28 points up, Port Adelaide. Long kick to the wing, off hands, it spills to Houston. In fact, it was Burton. His hand pass went straight to Mitchell. The hand passed it over his mate to Shields, who kicked the half forward to Burgoyne. It spills his way. Silk gets through the pack of 3. Doesn't go for goal. Hand passed off to Giath, who hand passed to O'Meara. Standing start from 40 should be a goal. It is. Goal to the Hawks. 7-11-53 they go to. And Sean Burgoyne involved in that scoring chain. Port Adelaide 11-9-75. Just over 30 minutes final term on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Any other big numbers sticking out in this one, Ash?
Well, Ollie Wines, Daisy, 40 disposals along with 11 clearances. And for the Hawks, Tom Mitchell, 29 touches, 8 clearances, most of those in the second half of the game, Daisy.
Sure, around the grounds, Choice Hotels, I think it's all over at the MCG.
Certainly is. The Blues defeating the Dockers by 16 points. Carlton 12-8-80 to Freo 8-16-64.
Wouldn't mind getting a live ladder update from you after this one, please. Richmond are just leaving the door ajar for everybody outside the 8.
They are, Joey.
Yeah, they certainly are. So Giants are currently inside the 8. They've actually replaced Richmond. Richmond are 2 points outside of the 8, so too are Fremantle, Joey. They're 2 points outside as well.
Carlton are only a game and a half out.
Spot on, Joey, for Red Z.
Mays wins the centre clearance for Port Adelaide. Rosie is going to stroll in. Oh, the Hawks fans are going to hate this. The Hawks fans are going to hate this. The villain of the night, Connor Rosie, kicks the goal. And of course, that all came about when he played up for a free kick. He flopped early in the game, and then he got a second free kick when Tom Mitchell remonstrated. And the Hawks fans have been off him all night. And he just gave him what you wanted him to do, Dave. He didn't quite give him the bird, but he just rubbed it in late in the game.
He did, and it was probably smart not to give the bird because that's an expensive thing to do when you get caught up. But
is it worthwhile?
It is.
You still happy?
Yeah, I would have. I probably was getting a touch paid a bit more than him, so it was a bit easy just to flip it and just move on to the next one. But it's always nice when you do get the. What's the saying, Baz? He who laughs last, laughs first, laughs last, laughs the loudest. I'm pretty sure you can put that one in the book as a genuine quote.
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. 12-9-81, Port Adelaide, 7-11-53, Hawthorn. 100 minute left to play for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. And Port Adelaide have got the job done here at Marvel Stadium. Long ball to half forward, offhand, spills to Mays, who can have another shot, and he runs into 30 and puts it through. Terrific finish for Port here, 13-9-87 now. Hawthorn 7-11-53. And this quarter's gone 32 and a half minutes on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
He's put together not a bad afternoon or evening as Mays. Just a player just going about his business. What's he played? 112 career matches. It's a lot more footy than I was going to guess. Just the 5 this season. Only the 1 goal, but he's been not too bad tonight. True?
Yeah, 15 disposals and a couple of majors.
It's pretty impressive.
Nice finish from Sam Mays. He'll do enough to hold his spot, you would think.
Well, according to Days, it's been impressive.
That's back out to 34 points.
Just having a look at the next few rounds for Port Adelaide. They've got the D's next week.
Thursday night, I think that'll be.
Thursday night, it says here at Adelaide Oval. So we'll see. That's going to be a big, big clash.
So 39 seconds left in this one. Shawnee Burgoyne is standing at full forward in the goal square. We've got what we wanted, but I don't think the ball will get down there because the Power will win this centre clearance, although Frederick's under pressure. Look at Boak still running like it's the first quarter. He's a machine. I don't even think he's human, Travis Boak. No. And he goes towards Dixon. Couldn't take the mark. Frost wide to Shields. Well done by young Bergman. Just did enough to get the ball out of bounds. And I'll give it to you, Baz, to call the last 10 seconds of this one.
Thank you, Joey. Yeah, it's been a terrific night for Port Adelaide. A wonderful night for footy with the 5th player in the history of the game to rack up 400 games in Sean Burgoyne. And plenty to celebrate over a long, long career. A premiership with Port Adelaide, 3 with the Hawks, an All-Australian. He's done it all, and a true gentleman of our great game. Port Adelaide at half forward. Siren will go. Chain of hand passes. The clock just ticked down. And in the end, they win by 20. Make that 34 points. 13-9-87. Defeating Hawthorn 7-11-53. And that quarter tracked just over 34 minutes.
We got the power to win. Power to roll. Come on. Port Adelaide aggression. We are the power from Port. It's more than a sport, it's a true Port Adelaide tradition. We'll never stop, stop, stop till we're top, top, top. There's history here in the making. We've got the power to win. We'll never give in till the flag is ours for the taking.
And the siren goes, the attention turns to Sean Burgoyne. Port Adelaide got the points, 34-point win. We will get that live ladder from Ash very, very shortly. And it's a 13-9-87 to 7-11-53 for Port Adelaide's victory. And Travis Boakes at ground level, courtesy of Channel 7 with Abby Holmes.
Boys to hold on. No, we are. We started really well. We knew it was going to be a lot of energy early on. Obviously a special day for Shawnee. He's been an absolute champion of the game, champion of the Hawthorn Footy Club, champion of the Port Adelaide Footy Club, and someone a lot of us admired, and he's still got plenty left. It's been a special day for him, but yeah, we needed the 4 points. So.
You did. That first half really set you up, didn't it? You were able to play the game on your terms and really assert dominance in that midfield.
Yeah, we did. I think our stoppage game was really strong, especially in that first half. They probably took over in the third, but our contested ball was really strong, and that's what set us up.
And as you said, you're walking away with the 4 points. You spent the first couple of years of your AFL career alongside Sean Burgoyne at Port Adelaide. How do you sum him up as a person and as a player?
An absolute champion as a human being first. I remember first getting to the club, and he just had time for me, he had time for everyone, and we're lucky enough to learn a lot from him. A lot of his and ladies' work was something we admired a lot, and as a midfielder, and we learned a lot. But the human being he is just a quality person, and that's why he's so admired across the AFL and the wider community. And congratulations to Shawnee on 400.
Oh, we absolutely love him, don't we? Congratulations, Trav. Go and enjoy the win. Well done.
Travis spoke very, very well of the former Port Adelaide star. Sean Burgoyne, of course, 243rd game for the Hawks, sees his 400th up. And what a story he is. Triple M Amy review. Amy, who covers Clang as Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. A great story, Days. It wasn't the result that the Hawks wanted, and for Sean Burgoyne tonight, but no doubt he'll go down and enjoy the moment with his family and his teammates a little bit later on.
Yeah, no doubt. We can see down here on the live screen that there's a lot of people just milling around the exit, and looks like Abby Holmes has got him down there at ground level thanks to 7.
I know that the boys couldn't get the job done for you tonight, but how proud are you of this achievement?
Yeah, it's been a big week and an enjoyable one. It would have been really Port Adelaide were far too good tonight. So, but yeah, it's the way things go sometimes.
Bartlett, Harvey, Fletcher, Tuck. It's a pretty exclusive club, isn't it?
Yeah, those guys are legends of the game, and I had a chat with them during the week, and they're good people, and so it's pretty humbling to be in a little mini club with those guys.
The first Indigenous player to reach 400 games, Shawnee. You're an inspiration. You're an inspiration to Indigenous men and women across the nation. How do you sum that up?
Yeah, it's pretty big when you talk like that, but whether I can inspire young kids to reach for a goal and try to get the pinnacle and make the most of it, that's I'm happy with that. But here comes my kids.
Your rugrats.
Yeah, it's good, but yeah.
What's your secret as well behind 400 games, other than the pregnancy pillow, which you've heard so much about? But at the end of your career at Port Adelaide, hey Ames, Hawthorn would have been wrapped if they got 3 years out of you. They've had over a decade, but what do you put it down to?
Oh, I think when you surround yourself with good people and great medical advice and great people have great faith in you, gives you a lot of confidence to chase your dreams and keep playing footy at the highest level. So great people in and around Hawthorn, and I've surrounded myself with those people, and I just couldn't be in better hands.
And these guys, your squad, Amy, you've been there since day one. The boys saw your stats sheet from his debut back at the Anzac Cup, but how proud are you of Sean and everything that he's achieved?
Abby, I've only just stopped crying. Don't make me cry again.
Don't make me cry.
I'm just so proud of him on and off the field. Just a role model to so many, and we love him to death.
Congratulations, Sean. I'll let you go and enjoy it.
Thank you to the fans for coming out as well.
What a star. He is a wonderful man and a wonderful person in footy. And 400 games tonight. Go down to ground level to you, Mickey Roberts. The Guard of Honour has been formed as he heads off the ground.
Oh, so many people, so many Hawthorn supporters here, and not one of them have left. They've come here to see Sean Burgoyne win, lose or draw, and Kenny Hinkley was fantastic, taking the Port Adelaide blokes over there. I know he's played a premiership there. He's got so many friends, and Travis spoke brilliantly, and as we teased at the start of the game, Boak and Liam Shields, big boy McAvoy, he's too tall to take him off, so Shields gets the honour with Boak. So both sides saluting a champion. 5th player in history of the AFL to play 400 games. We salute Sean Burgoyne.
Good on you, Mickey. Wonderful moment. Mickey Roberts right down there amongst it. As Travis spoke, gives Sean Burgoyne a hug. Another hug from his teammate in Shields as well. And one last wave as he heads down the race with his teammates before they head to the rooms. We're going to catch our breath, come back here to Marvel Stadium. The scoreboard said that Port Adelaide defeated Hawthorn by 34 points. It's been a huge night for Sean Burgoyne. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
ask your plumber to install a Ream. Steady, hot and strong.
Triple M's your home of rock, sport and comedy. Now with Marty Sheargold for breakfast.
We were talking about Murray Head, yes?
One night in Bangkok, Murray Head.
Murray Head's brother Anthony was in Buffy.
Are you joking?
No.
Anthony Head, Tony Head.
Tony Head.
What did their brother Richard do? Wow, I was on delay then.
You all were. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6.
Oh, that is so good.
Catch up with the podcast from the Listener app.
For over 36 years, the Growth CBUS My Super investment option has returned an average of 8.98% per annum for its members.
Hey Rob, is 8.98% good for super returns?
Well, put it this way, son. It's going to take me round Australia in retirement.
CBUS, for all of us. To consider if CBUS is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for a PDS. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2021, Triple M rocks footy.
You don't get that on the other stations.
Temper mattresses. Feel comfort. Feel support. Feel Temper. Find AFL player stories at temper.com.au.
That is a ripper.
Hard Yakka is for a new breed of Aussie legends. Toughness is in their DNA. No shortcuts. Hard Yakka, a history of hard.
That makes it tough.
For Ream and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ask your plumber about Ream's advanced stainless steel water heaters with 12-year cylinder warranties.
Install a Ream.
Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
Wanting an end-of-lease clean, selling or auctioning your home? Cheapest Chips can tailor a total perfect cleaning package for you. 100% bond return, 100% guaranteed to add value to your sale or auction. Cheapest Chips can even pressure clean the outside of your home, leaving it like new at a price you can afford. End of lease, sale or auction of properties? Get total cleaning by Cheapest Chips. Call 9826 1111. 7 days a week, credit cards welcome. Cheapest Chips, 9826 1111. The ones you can trust.
At Pet Barn, buy Ivory Coat grain-free 13-kilo dry dog food from just $99. With high-quality, natural ingredients including locally sourced meat and the added goodness of superfoods, your dog is sure to love it. Delicious and nutritious. Shop online or in-store at Pet Barn today. With same-day delivery 7 days a week. Or click and collect within 60 minutes. Conditions apply. Offer ends Monday, 12th of July.
Congratulations, homeowner.
Yeah, pretty excited. Only 2 bedrooms, so it's a bit tight for the 5 of us.
That's okay.
And we're really close to transport. Paid more than we wanted, but got to get in the market somehow. And it should only take me an hour and a half to get to work, depending on traffic.
City living has its challenges. Regional Australia offers a genuine sense of space, not to mention bang for your buck when it comes to real estate.
To find out where your new home could be, visit movetomore.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M footy review. Amy.
Who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy.
It was a win to Port Adelaide here tonight. 34 points it was in the end. 39-87. Hawthorn 7-11-53. Port led by 10 points at quarter time. 5 goals to zip. Second quarter set it up. They had a 42-point lead at half time. And they went on with the business. Lee Montagne's here. He's had a massive day. Of course, Daisy Thomas is here. Mickey Roberts and, of course, Ashley Tour. The Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots is coming up soon. Mongrel Boots. Comfy boots built for long days on site. Let's go down to the Port rooms. They won. Let's hear the song. 34-point winners. Sung with a little bit of gusto, and their former teammate or former Port Adelaide star Sean Burgoyne racking up his 400th game tonight. Ash, what do the Red Z numbers tell you about tonight's match?
The inside 50s, 54-39 Port's away. They dominated the centre clearances 15-6, and the scores from stoppages 6-3-39 Port Adelaide, Hawks only at 1-3-9. Ollie Wines 43 touches and 13 clearances, equal PB in terms of disposals, PB in terms of clearances. Burn Jones had 29. Amon 26 disposals, 620 metres gained, 28 pressure acts, the most on the ground. Dixon with 4 majors. Lysett, he only had the 8 touches, but laid 8 tackles, which is the equal most on the ground. Dominated the hitouts, 38-15 to advantage. Just with the Hawks, I'll just highlight a couple of the youngsters. Bramble is in only his 3rd game, 16 disposals, went at 90% by foot. And Newcomb, 11 touches, 7 tackles, and 22 pressure acts, the most for the Hawks.
Thanks, Ash. And don't forget the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. With all due respect to the medium meal, I always say go for the large. You won't be disappointed. But it is that time of the night. We're going to go to the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots, Joey, built for long days on the site. Now, man, of course, Dale Thomas here tonight. Daisy, how'd you see it?
Well, I think you'll both really enjoy this. I actually got management come through the headsets, and they said on such a big occasion, a man who's played 400 games, let's give the votes to a man who's been at Triple M for 20 years and not yet done them. So, Ash Chua, the Mongrel Boots, the MVP, is over to you.
I like this.
Ashley Chua giving the votes for the Mongrel Boots tonight.
And for Red Z, I enjoy being thrown under a bus.
Good.
Yeah, this is important too.
And for Red Z, when it comes to questions without notice, I'm the ultimate clanger king.
And you're not allowed to look at the stats was the other word from management just in my ear. So just off feel of what you've seen throughout the game tonight.
How'd you see it,
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to give them all to Port Adelaide players. Here we go. I'm going to give one vote to Scott Lyset. Forget about the touches. He had his pressure around the ground was fantastic, and he dominated the hit-outs, as I just touched on before. 2 votes. You know what? I'm going to give it to Charlie Dixon.
Yep.
4 majors and applied a lot of pressure inside the attacking 50 as well. And 3 votes. You can't keep him out of it. Joey rates him very highly. That goes to Oliver.
Oh,
43 disposals. Equal PB.
Look at that.
That's exactly as I had him.
And that's exactly the 3 I had.
That is true.
Yep.
High five.
Joey and David get the same. Oh, gee, you get it right every time,
You
mate.
just know your stuff.
I can still keep my job at Triple M. Thank you.
Celebrating 20 years at Triple M footy, Ashley Chua. But as he said earlier in the night, don't make it about me. It's about Sean Burgoyne in his 400th game. And Sean Burgoyne, what a start. We love him, and congratulations to him and his family on a wonderful night. The game was won by Port Adelaide 39-87. Hawthorn 7-11-53. Ash, just that score again from the MCG, please.
MCG, it was the Blues defeating the Dockers by 16 points.
All right, that's Ash Chua. Thank you, Dale Thomas. You were sensational. Joey.
Thanks, Baz.
Get some rest.
I will.
Big day for you. Mickey Roberts, just sensational on the boundary line. We thank Rabs, Kirk and Corey for looking after us in the box. And the great Leroy back in the studios of Triple M footy. It's a seagull just creeps into our headset. Baz signing off on behalf of the crew. Looking forward to Sunday footy tomorrow. Ash, where are we going?
Collingwood v St Kilda, the MCG.
The Sunday rub for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks.